Hit the mic opinions with the snap. NYG 22, yeah, that's the cap. Unpopular takes, but we cut no slack. Watch the views climb while we talk that smack.
It look like we running with DJ for another year, girl.
I think the Giants are going to get off to a fast start.
This channel for them high sports laws. Got the bass that hit like heavy doors. Pop opinion sports where the talk roars.
Yo. What's good, everybody? We back. Giants Conversations. Been on a little hiatus for a minute. Been out for a minute, but training camp is coming out. And we are about to get back rolling, man, with the streams. You know what it is, Heart of the City. Giants Conversations, full access, New York Giants Lounge, all that good stuff with the Big Blue Crew. So, but before I do that, man, want to tap in with the chat, tap in with the people, man. How y'all doing, man? What is good with y'all, man? Tap in with my big bro. Got Big Pat on the panel. Pat, what's good, man? What's goody with you?
Man, not much, man. Just here to talk about a couple of things with this Sunday football talks. Getting ready for the football season. You know we're going to hold you down during the football season.
Facts.
Can't wait to call those out-of-the-country games for you early in the morning, grinding, working hard. It's going to be dope again, man. You know, the dynamic duo calling the games, me and NYG. Can't wait till Joe gets back in action because now it would be a trifecta when he gets back in action. So get well, Joe. Keep working out. Keep getting stronger, brother.
That's right, man. Shout out to Joel. Shout out to G Nation, Big Lou, man. Shout out to the whole Big Blue crew. Of course, Coach Ed, Man Cave, Big Blue in the Bronx, Mac the Giants fan, so many others, man. We got a banging crew, man, and we got mad sports content coming for you every day, all day. Shout out to the chat, man. What's good with y'all, man? Oh, we can't stream on Twitter no more.
Yeah,
So
I just seen that.
That's why I had to remove your Twitter feed. Lou was saying it last night. I just want to try mine just to see, and they want you.
No,
to pay
you
for
gotta. They want you to pay for the blue check to stream. So it looks like it's gonna be Twitch here in a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start me a Twitch, start me a Rumble, because I'm not paying Elon Musk a goddamn dime. I'm sorry. But so we're YouTube only today, man, and Pat's Twitch, so tap in on those channels. Iman, what's good with you? What's good? 15-2. Man, you already know.
Just to elaborate on that real quick. If that happens, that means our offensive line is ranked top 5 or higher. If our offensive line is ranked top 5 or higher with the receivers that we have, that can very well happen. Only team I see beating us if our offensive line is that dominant. I hate to say it, maybe them fucking Cowboys. They may get us once, and we may lose to somebody like the Bengals or somebody like that. But if our offensive line is playing like that, that allows us to do the RPO, that allows us to do play action, that allows us to use 5 receiver sets with Theo Johnson at the tight end in line and 4 receivers out there. It allows us to use Tyrone Tracy the way that he's supposed to be used. Yeah. That offensive line blocks, the sky's the limit with this team, to be honest with you.
Big facts, man. RIP to Jacoby Jones. Just heard about that, man. Young brother, man, taken way too soon, man. Seeing too much of this in sports nowadays, and I don't like it, man. But you know, it is life, and you know, shout out to that man's family, man. Hope all is well. You know, sending my condolences over to the Jacoby Jones family. What's good, Jay? What's
why the
good,
Ravens
Fairies?
won that second Super Bowl.
Yeah, man, he was definitely an integral part in that run that they had. That was that Joe Flacco run, wasn't it? Yeah. Mosley, what's good with you, man? What up, fam? Peace and blessings. Brandon, what's good, man? Peace and blessings to you. Says we play the Lions in less than 3 weeks. Yep. And that's gonna be a good test. That's going to be a good test because they have a very good offensive line. They have a very good head coach, and they have the type of team that's going to play physical. So the New York Giants, and the pass rush too. Aiden Hutchinson, can't forget about him. So it's going to be a good test for that Giants offensive line. Go ahead.
Can
Pat.
I elaborate on that comment for a second? He says we played the Lions less than 3 weeks. The Lions is actually how I will actually build my team.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually predicated off the running game, whether you want to believe it or not, with Montgomery and Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
They built their offensive line, one of the best in the game. They built the trenches, one of the best in the game. The secondary, the linebackers, you really don't know them, but they play pretty well. And they got Amon-Ra St. Brown, the number one weapon, and it surrounded him with a plethora of other weapons and a very good tight end, Paul. And Jared Goff is not the greatest ever. So they've actually built that team the way I believe the Giants should build team. And we're getting there. We just can't get this offensive line correct. But if we get that offensive line correct, we're sort of like them a little bit without the running back power. But the Lions are a very good built team, and as long as Jared Goff plays to his potential, they're going to be a good team for a while because they've taken the personality of their head coach. A lot of people laughed at Dan Campbell when he came out, me included, talking about biting kneecaps and shit, but they're really taking on to what that coach is. You look at that team, that's Dan Campbell to a T. Them dudes do not quit, and they come at you all game long. And they were this close. They were 1 4th down conversion from making the Super Bowl, which I really think they should have kicked the field goal, but it is what it is. You let a good team like the 49ers breathe, they're going to come back and beat you. But yeah, that Lions team is different.
What's good with you, Ghosts? Jay says we win in 18 games, in my opinion. 15 is just crazy. Yeah, I'm around the 9-ish, 10-ish mark right now.
Yeah, me too.
But I do want to see if they add, because if they add, let me ask y'all this. If they add and go get, like Seti says here, if they go get a guy like a Xavier Howard or a Stephon Gilmore or one of these other corners, and say they pick up an extra piece on the offensive line as well. Say they go get Najee Harris, like Pat mentioned.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of waiting to see how they fill out the roster going into the regular season. Because there's still a lot of good players out there that they could pick up on the free agent list. Remember, they got the $11-something million from Darren Waller, so they got a little bit of bread to play with. So I'm gonna be wanting to see if they could add some more pieces. But as of right now, the way the roster's built, I do have them around that 8, 9-ish, 10-ish win bar.
Yeah, Xavier Howard got some thing going on with, man, he got something going on that's crazy. I don't want to mention on your channel, get it shut down. But he got something going on that's crazy, and the Giants are not going to touch that. John Mara is not bringing that to his team, bro. So you can count Xavier Howard out, and I think Gilmore wants to go to a legit contender. So looks like it's going to be Cordell
Dory Jackson, and there's still a couple players out there. We'll see. I'm not sure that they are that they're really settled. Even though Brian Dable gave us, I have a lot of faith in Flott. I'm not buying that, to be honest with you.
Why not?
You heard the comment about Joe Shane. They were in the market for a big time cornerback, and they pivoted and went and got Brian Burns. So I think they were gonna look at the market as far as picking up a corner opposite Deontay Banks, because Shane was like, hey, I'll play corner, kind of making a joke like that. And I was just telling me, like, yeah, we were gonna go corner, but nah, this is a better move, and we'll figure out the cornerback situation. I think that's kind of how they went about it, and we'll see.
I will say this. If they legitly want another opposite starting corner and they see that Flott is not in training camp, I do believe they will be in talks with the Denver Broncos for PS2.
Patrick Surtain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
I do believe a second round pick would get Patrick Surtain from the Broncos. And the way the shirt Joe Shane is, he might be able to pull that off with like a third and a fifth with his ass. So be on the lookout for that as well. Everybody wants to make jokes. Oh, what sources does Pat have? My source is common sense and intelligence. What's going on, Coach?
What's good, Coach? What's good with you, man? I see y'all. Didn't we want to bring Adoree back? I think they're kind of done with Adoree. I thought that initially, but now the longer that it drags out, I think it's like, man, and I'm kind of done with Adoree. I mean, that was it the Jets game, Pat? I damn near lost it. I think we was calling it. I was like, I'm fucking
we
done.
lost it a couple of times on a couple of players. Right? The Boogie Basham, man, I was going crazy on him the whole season. I gotta apologize, but that dude just so freaking slow, bro. Like, you can't put him at edge, man. He needs to be a defensive tackle.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that too in this 53-man roster projection. But they ain't touching Howard. Yeah, Pat mentioned that. How y'all feel about Connor Williams? He can also play guard.
I don't think we need to sign another offensive lineman, bro. We got enough offensive linemen.
And Justin Simmons, but ain't he a safety?
Yeah, he's a safety. If they feel they can pair him with Turbin, that would be dope. I ain't gonna lie. I like Justin Pinnock, but he's not Justin Simmons.
Yeah, true that.
He's not Justin Simmons, man. But I'm fine with Turbin and Pinnock, man.
Yeah. I like the rotation. I'm a big Dane Belton fan. So
me too. That dude seems to get turnovers. I told people.
Yeah, man.
He's one of those dudes that just seems to get turnovers. He's not going to be this outstanding all-pro type safety. Like, everybody believes that you have to be this all-pro type guy to be a decent football player.
Jay, shout out to Jay Ferries, man, Crypto, man. Follow him on Twitter. All Joe Shane's picks need to become Pro Bowlers. That's what people want.
Yeah, no team does that. I told you, this is not Madden, bro. You are lucky to get one Pro Bowl out of each one of your drafts. You are lucky to get that.
You know how many players the average teams, even the good teams, the average team sends to the Pro Bowl, or that become not even the Pro Bowl, because anybody can make a Pro Bowl. Evan Ingram made the goddamn Pro Bowl.
Right.
But you know how many All Pros come from each team? I mean, it's very rare to even get an All Pro. You know what I'm saying? There's only a few spots. I think they got the first and second team. That's it. So it's tough to really get to that level and have so many players at that level. The few teams that do, those are the ones that are in the Super Bowl every damn year, like Kansas City and San Francisco.
Facts.
But it's just rare, man. It's just rare to get that many good players and keep them. That's the key. You got to keep these guys because they,
you got to pay them.
Free agents. Yeah,
you got to pay them.
Yeah,
49ers going through with IU.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if they pay IU, somebody got to go. Or Williams may retire soon, but that whole defense, man, they got so many people paying on that defense coming up.
Ralph, what's good? What's good with y'all? Yeah, they do, man. And the same thing is going to happen the same thing's happening with Dallas, and Philly. Somehow they seem to figure it out, but their time is going to come too.
They keep pushing their doomsday back. When that doomsday hits, I don't care if it's 5 years down the line. When that doomsday hits, Philadelphia is gonna go right back to where they were.
Right back to where they belong.
Yeah, in the cellar. But they better get a Super Bowl within these next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, they ain't gonna get it. Yeah, that's me trolling a little bit, but honestly, man, I think the NFL is one of those topsy-turvy leagues. Unless you're just one of those teams that are built with good coaching, a smart quarterback, and a good defensive coordinator. That's how the Patriots did it, and the goddamn Chiefs got the same recipe. They got a damn Hall of Fame coach, a smart
Hall of Fame defensive
quarterback, and a fucking dominant defensive coordinator that can get it done. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Patriots did it with Belichick, Brady, and you know what I'm saying, and them over there. And the Chiefs are doing the same thing with Andy Reid, Spags, and Pat Mahomes. So,
Dash, J-Lay, what's good?
What's good with y'all, man? Tommy, what's good, man? Appreciate y'all coming through. I ain't even fucking with him.
Oh, that Momo dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's one of the biggest haters on Twitter.
Yeah, dude.
He's a troll, man. He's always
trolling.
Watching what I'm doing for some reason.
Yeah, he watches me too. He likes it because he thinks we're Daniel Jones lawyers. So that's what I wish Daniel Jones would pay me to defend him. I mean, I would like to get a check from DJ. DJ, if you out there, man, throw some bread over to the Big Blue Crew, man. We got your back, bro.
Right.
We can't take
getting hammered.
Straight up. Jay
Ridiculous.
was good. He said, wait for a black and mild. You don't know Pat, yo. Yeah. Right. That's Pat's shit right there, man. Yeah, it was good.
I'm gonna quit one day, though.
But yeah, let's get into the content, man. So I want to start with this Hard Knocks thing real quick. Just kind of recap that because we had episode 2, and they got episode 3 coming out, I think Tuesday. So
yeah, it comes out every Tuesday.
My thoughts on the Hard Knocks so far, as far as what we learned, kind of piece everything together. I think Joe Shane. Let me start with Joe Shane first, because he's pretty much the star of the show, so to speak. I think Joe Shane is a very good general manager in a business sense. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't let his emotions kind of get tied up into some of these players. I think he makes excellent trades. And I think his drafts have been solid given with the picks that we've had. Because you got to remember, he does flip a lot of picks for players. We traded picks to get Burns. We traded picks to get Darren Waller. You know what I mean? We traded away Leo Williams for picks. We traded away Kadarius Toney for picks. So he likes to make these picks for players type trades, almost like they're doing in the NBA. So I do like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to have everybody on your roster green, almost like a college roster where everybody's just brand new. You need to mix in some vets in certain spots, and I appreciate that he's able to do that. And young veterans, you're not banking on 30, 35-year-olds. You're bringing in young 26, 27, 29-ish veterans to help build this roster. So that's one thing that I like with Joe Shane do. You see the negotiations with my man from the Panthers. You know what I mean? We're gonna get some more of this trade negotiation, I think, in this next episode, where they are talking about trading up to possibly the 3rd overall pick. So I like the way he moves in that sense, and I like the way he thinks. Like, hey, I can take a pick and pick a player, but I can go get a better player, a more proven player, if I just give up a couple assets. So that's one of my main takeaways from this so far. Say what you want to say about Joe Shane. Say what you want to say about his decisions with Barkley and the players that were already on the team that he didn't draft. He had to make decisions on these players that he did not bring in here. You know what I mean? So you got to understand that too. You know, maybe if it's Joe Shane, maybe he never drafts Daniel Jones or even Saquon Barkley. I know he ain't drafted Saquon Barkley, but you know what I mean? So
Yeah, you would never took Saquon Barkley.
Nah, hell nah. So you got to understand that this man is trying to fix a problem. So you can knock him for the decisions with the players that already been here, but I'm looking at the team that he's building, the players that he's bringing in, and I like the roster so far. We're going to talk about the roster here a little bit later in. Y'all hit that like button, share the video out. They won't let us stream on Twitter no more, so if you don't mind, take the time, post a video on your Twitter feed, man, and for me and Big Pat, man. But what's your thoughts so far about what I said and about the Hard Knocks so far?
My thoughts about the Hard Knock so far, man, is it's actually a lot more interesting than I truly believed it was going to be. It is giving you a little insight of what actually goes on with these organizations and these franchises as far as the offseason goes. I believe that they're doing everything that we pretty much predicted that they were going to do. Me and NYG, like I said, we took a lot of heat about the whole Saquon Barkley thing. I knew they were eventually going to move off of Saquon Barkley after that first offseason when they offered him 3 deals and he didn't take it and they had the franchise. And I was like, well, yeah, this probably will be his last season. Because I doubt if they put that deal back on the table after him refusing those other deals. And I still say that he was telling them, give me Christian McCaffrey money or don't talk to me. I believe that's what he was really telling them. And it was like, you know what, we're going to franchise you. We're going to see if we can get something done this next offseason. And it turned out, man, I think they both were turned off from each other. Pause. I think Barkley was turned off by the Giants, and I think Joe Shane and the organization was turned off by Barkley. Now, obviously, if you're looking at the episodes, I can't pull punches. Obviously, John Mara wanted Saquon Barkley here. And you're probably going to see more of it this next episode coming out. And it's going to go towards what NYG has been saying, that John Mara still is doing a couple of little things behind the scenes, but you can't blame him. It's his fucking team. So he has the right to, give his opinion out there. Now, will this sully the relationship between Joe Shane and John Mara? Time will tell. Because obviously, John Mara was not bringing back Barkley. And Joe Shane was like, you paid me to do a job. I'm going to do my job, and paying him is not sufficient to the future of this team. He didn't say it like that, but that's how it came off in the energy that was in that room. And I think John Mara is going to give another hint. Well, they already showed it. He's going to give another hint in this 3rd episode. So I want to see how that's going to go. And I want to see the interchange of energy between Joe Shane and John Mara, because that could get a little sticky out there. Pause. John Mara can hold that over his head. I'm telling you.
And you know what's so important about this, because when I say John Mara is meddling, or so to speak, or maybe we shouldn't use that word. What I'm saying is exactly what I seen on Hard Knocks. He's nudging. He's not saying you better do this or else. He's not a dictator, but he's influencing some of these decisions, rightfully so. Like Pat said, it's his team, but if you want this team to be built right, you have to get out the way. I think the Giants learned that back in the day when they brought in George Young. Remember that? So to let him come in and say, look, Maras, I got y'all. Let me do this. Let me take care of that. Y'all, be owners.
Right the chip.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I got this. And I think Joe Shane is trying to relay that same energy to John Mara. Like, but this guy is not a good long-term investment for you, for the owner. Because you got to pay this guy if he gets hurt or if he doesn't perform. You still got to cut that check. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't the move, And so I think what happened in the past particularly with Jerry Reese and Dave Gettleman, is they were yes men. And they were like, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, no, sir. And then when John Mara brought in Joe Shane and the whole, carte blanche statement came out, people were like, okay, let these guys do their job. So John Mara, let these guys do their job. Like, just let them do their job. If you want Saquon Barkley, if you wanted Saquon Barkley that bad, then why'd you make the statement that you made about Daniel Jones? About bringing him back, bringing Barkley back. You want all these guys to come back. Odell Beckham Jr., and a lot of these players just aren't necessarily a good long-term investment for the Giants. The Giants need to be building in the trenches, and that's what Joe Shane is doing. These star players ain't getting it done, bruh.
So
I know, John Mara, I know you want the star power to sell tickets, and these Giants fans are craving for star power. We see it on Twitter, but it's not the right football move for the long term.
So let's talk about if they did keep Saquon Barkley, because it wasn't going to be on that contract that he got from the Eagles. I believe he wanted more money from the Giants. He wanted like 15 to 16 million at least from the Giants. He wasn't going to accept that deal that they previously offered him from the New York Giants. He just wasn't going to do it. So more, let's say they franchised him, they had to tie up like 12.5 million. That means we don't get Runyon for sure.
You don't get Illuminor either.
Yeah, I don't think you get Illuminor. You don't get Brian Burns, because they had to give Brian Burns a huge deal in order to get that trade to go through. So would you get rid of those three players for Saquon Barkley? And you can add Singletary to that list too, because Singletary wouldn't be here if Barkley is here.
Let's put it like this, because I know a lot of people want Xavier McKinney back as well. So say they go about free agency differently, and they just put all their eggs in Barkley and McKinney's basket and just give them what they want. Would you, with Giants fans, and y'all in the chat, 30 in the chat, man, y'all hit that like button, would you guys feel better about having Barkley and McKinney and maybe filling the roster with back end pieces like they did Jalen Mills and draft picks or whatever, and then you keep your second round pick because you don't make the trade for Brian Burns? Or would you be better off with Runyon, Illuminor, and trading for Brian Burns? That's basically what Joe Shane did. He valued other spots other than safety and running back. But you guys loved McKinney and Saquon, so people have to ask the Giants fans that are pissed off that Joe Shane, even though I do think this situation was more on Barkley, and I've said so, but if you think it was Joe Shane being just a tough general manager, think about it. Are we better off with the players we got now, or are we going to be better off with McKinney and Barkley and bottom tier free agents?
Man, Cave.
What's good with
bottom tier free agents? Maybe they do still get Sidham from the Buccaneers to play guard.
Aaron Stinney, Scott,
Stinney.
But I mean,
and so now Evan Neal is your everything now. Like, if Evan Neal don't pan out, your offensive line is going to be absolutely horrible.
Or maybe they have to take Alt now, and don't take Neighbors.
I still think they take Neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that all the other picks, now you're going to try to do, what are you going to do? Depend on the rookie offensive guard again? I'm totally with the way Joe Shane did it. Mm-hmm. And I can see a way that keeping Barkley, man, that would have took a lot of money. And especially if you kept him and McKinney, that's it. You won't get none of them guys then.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. You might get Stidham, but you won't get none of them guys then. And that changes the whole draft for you. I still think you take Neighbors at 6, but the second round pick, who do you get now? Because now you don't have the other edge rusher.
Yeah, so
You
you're
don't
not
have the
taking
other edge
Newbin.
rusher. You got to get linemen.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to get an edge. So
And then you won't get Theo Johnson because I think that will be out of the plans. Hell, shit. If Waller would have came back.
Yeah.
Yep. Cave, what's your thoughts on the Hard Knocks so far, brother? What's your takeaways from the Hard Knocks so far?
So far, man, I think like the whole Saquon thing. I'm gonna just say, because, like I said, I think a lot of people's getting it wrong, because everybody keeps saying the Giants gave Daniel Jones the money over Saquon, but they fail to realize that the Giants came to Saquon first. They tried to jump ahead of the curve to get him signed first, so that way they could franchise tag Daniel Jones. But what happened was Saquon never agreed to none of the deals, so the Giants had to pivot over to Daniel Jones to see if they could get a deal done with him. Because if you remember, it came to 5 minutes before the deadline, and people forget the deadline that you have to meet. It's not like you keep pushing it to years after years. It doesn't work that way. So if they didn't come with a contract with Daniel Jones either, both of them would have been free agents and both of them would have walked. You see what I'm saying? Saquon would have walked, and Daniel Jones may be able to sign back with the Giants, but Saquon would have walked for free that year. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the person you're going to be mad at is his agent, because what people fail to realize is he had to get a second agent, because the first agent, the lady, she didn't know what she was doing. She was messing up the contracts. Yeah. And he got rid of her and got this dude, Ed Berrien, who eventually did the franchise thing with the Giants, to keep him there for that 1 year, because he finally figured out what to do to get him a little extra money, because I don't know what she was thinking or what she was doing. So she messed up the whole thing. So if he had this agent from the very jump, that contract probably would have been signed, and then Daniel Jones would have been franchised. And like the season Daniel Jones had last year, and he got hurt, then he would have been on that 1 year deal, and he would have been gone. You see what I'm saying? So everything would have turned out different. But the whole thing was Saquon and his agent. You see what I'm saying? So you can't be mad at the Giants, because they try to give Saquon money, you know what I'm saying? And these guys come from a team, Buffalo, where they don't pay running backs. And they was even willing to pay him money for up to $13 million, $14 million, you know what I'm saying, with incentives. And he still didn't want it. So you really can't blame them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, man. And that's the thing, a lot of these people that's, caping for Saquon Barkley are some of the same people in 2019 that criticized Dave Gettleman for taking him second overall, because they wanted Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen.
Yeah, if we would have took Josh Rosen.
You Giants fans that like to troll me and Pat and the Big Blue Crew, you are hypocrites, because the same ones that want Barkley here now are the same ones 9 times out of 10 that wanted to take a quarterback over Barkley at number 2. You know who I wanted that year? Quentin Nelson.
Yep. Yeah. I wanted Quentin Nelson that year too.
Yeah,
Quentin Nelson. They couldn't get Nelson. I wanted Bradley Chubb.
Yep, that's who I wanted that year, man. We were two who didn't even know each other. I wanted Bradley Chubb and Quentin Nelson. I was like, fuck, Bradley Chubb made it to the second round, bro. And I was like, man, we could have had Quentin Nelson. People that's saying, about Barkley this and Barkley that. Honestly, I never wanted the Giants to draft Barkley or Daniel Jones, to be honest with you. To be 100. Who I wanted the Daniel Jones year? The Josh Allen, the edge rusher that year. I wanted him.
The edge rusher.
But I was scared of exactly what happened with Saquon Barkley. When I seen him running at Penn State, I said, this dude is not a traditional type running back that the Giants draft, man.
Mm-hmm.
We've never had a guy that's always trying to get the huge play. And Barkley is good. Don't get it twisted. But he's never been that type of running back for us. The closest we ever had to that was that David Wilson kid, but he was lightning straight to the hole. Yeah. Like he was north and south. He was not a dude that would go. Yeah, he was a one-cut type running back. Only way he was going to the outside is if you did a pitch or off tackle. Other than that, he was trying to get in between the tackles.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the injuries, I don't think he was injured at Penn State, but I was like, man, this dude cuts so hard. And he's like 230 something pounds trying to be a Barry Sanders type back. And kudos to Barry Sanders because he did it without an offensive line and he was trying to get to the outside all day. I don't know how his body held up like that. But
he didn't play long, you know. So
yeah, because he got tired of carrying the Lions by himself.
Yeah,
that's who they trying to make Saquon Barkley be, and it's not true. Nigga, Daniel Jones way better than some Scott Mitchell. You see what I'm saying?
Facts,
Dan
man.
Orlovsky, all those guys.
Yeah, man. Dan Orlovsky running out the end zone,
and when you look at Barry Sanders' career, that dude had the most yardage going backwards in NFL history. He has like over 1,000 yards of negative runs. It was just that he was so good, he'd go back 5 yards, 6 yards, then break it for 50.
Scott Mitchell's like 500 pounds. Now, Scott Mitchell, boy, that dude was terrible, man.
Went over there and robbed the Dolphins after relying on Barry Sanders.
Oh, shit.
But it's I just think it was the best decision, man. And everybody's tripping because we lose star power. That's all it's about, man. But
the Giants ain't never been built like that. I mean, we've had stars, but like our stars, most of the time, our stars are on defense. And, you know what I'm saying? Like our best two players in the history, arguably, is on defense, and that's Lawrence Taylor and Michael Strahan. So
with Eli right below them.
Yeah, you could put Eli up there too, but you got to remember, a lot of people, like they got Daniel Jones now, wanted Eli ran out of town because he kept throwing interceptions.
Yeah, same way.
You know what I mean?
Same way.
It's again, you know, y'all guys that love Eli Manning, some of the same ones criticizing Daniel Jones. You know what I mean? When Eli Manning was set up when he got to the Giants.
This is a good thing here too. I'll always say that we lost our way when we drafted Odell Beckham and he turned into what he turned into.
Mm-hmm.
Did we make the same mistake twice with Barkley?
I think so.
Because we've never been a team where you have that one guy on the team that's just a superstar and everything was about him. Strahan is on defense. That's different.
We always used to get it done with like second round, third round picks, undrafted free agents, like just a mix of players. You know what I'm saying? Like look at that 2017. You know what I'm saying? We had Plaxico, who we got in a trade.
He wasn't like that.
Nah, Tuma was homegrown. We drafted Steve Smith. You know, I think in the second round.
USC.
And we had Boss, who was a fourth, fifth round pick.
I think it was a fourth round pick.
Yeah, so we had Kevin Boss, and we had Bradshaw, who was a seventh round pick, and Brandon Jacobs, who was Jacobs was a fifth round pick.
Yeah, I think so. Out of Southern Illinois or Northern Illinois, one of them.
We never had his star power, and the only real reason Eli Manning was a star was because he's a Manning. You know what I'm saying? If Eli Manning was a not a Manning, they would probably treat him like Daniel Jones, to be honest with you. Because I seen Phil Simms go through the same shit.
And go ahead, man, K.
I think we started losing our ways with Jerry Reese as the GM. I mean, he got some good defensive players, but it was the offensive line that he started. That's what we started like really going down, offensive line, because it was only, of course, the guys that won those Super Bowls.
That's the only problem I actually have with Jerry Reese as the GM on his back end, because the front end, he did everything that he was supposed to do, to be honest with you. I don't have any vitriol towards Jerry Reese. He brought us 2 Super Bowls. The first one was with the Corsi's team, and then the second one, he had a lot of input on that one. So I'll always put Jerry Reese in the ring of honor today. The only thing I had with Jerry Reese is he never replenished the line. See, Jerry Reese was brought here to bring in the new age, I do believe, when he drafted Evan Ingram, when he drafted uh, Odell Beckham, drafting people like Ruben Randall in the second round. He never went back to the trenches, and it was too late when he tried to do it with those guys that eventually came over, but he did bring in Justin Pugh. He did what was that damn center's name?
Eric Flowers.
Yeah, he tried, but it was too late.
Weston Richburg.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Weston Richburg. He was decent.
Yeah.
And then he got better when he went to the 49ers.
I felt like the line got a little bit better when they came in. And I want to say that was they on that 2016 team?
Who?
Pugh and Richburg.
I want to say they were.
Because I want to say that was the 1 year where our line was like halfway okay.
Yeah, I think they were on that team. They got before Barkley was there.
Yeah, and then they all start getting hurt. Really, that was Pugh and Richburg's problem. They just got hurt all the damn time.
They kept getting hurt. Hey, Koof, man, thank you for talk with Big Pat Sports Talk, bro. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Koof, man. Appreciate your support, man. But we got Coach on the show, man. What's good with you, my brother? How you doing, man? How you feeling today, Coach?
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are well.
Yeah, we all right, man. Maintaining, chopping it up with the New York Giants. Will Beatty was solid.
Will Beatty was solid.
He was solid.
He was part of that offensive line of the second Super Bowl. We just didn't replenish after that. Right, when everybody got old, we drafted linemen 2 years too late.
Yeah. Because
those guys played as long as they could, and they started getting injured, they started getting old, started getting hurt. Yeah,
Jay, you right, man. Me and Pat did have a debate on Daniel Jones, and again, I've never really been that big of a Daniel Jones supporter, but I get to the point now where, I'm supporting my team, and Daniel Jones is on my team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting tired of the negativity. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be balanced. I have negative things about the team, like I talk about Evan Neal. Pat mentioned Boogie Basham. Some of these players, we're not too sold on. But again, when you're in the media and 99% of the conversation is about the quarterback, it's as if none of the other players on the team exist. And again, football is we're going to talk about a 53-man roster here in just a second. Think about that for a minute. 53-man roster, not a quarterback roster.
Right.
So, yeah. And again, I admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong about Malik Willis. I'm not a sucker. Like, I'm not going to go up here and just keep doubling down on the BS. You know what I'm saying? There was things I was wrong about Daniel Jones about. There's things I'm right about Daniel Jones about. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You win some, you lose some. But don't. I hate people that come up here or that go on Twitter and act stupid, act like they're not wrong about anything. But Will Beatty, I'm gonna catch up the comments and then we're gonna get into this 53-man roster projection. Eric Flowers. Yeah, Eric Flowers. That's what scares a lot of Giants fans, that Evan Neal is going to be another Eric Flowers. But I don't as much as down as I am on Evan Neal, I don't think he's Eric Flowers.
No, I don't think he's Eric Flowers at all. And shout out to New York Giants for joining the chat. Hit that like and subscribe button for us. I don't think I've seen you on here before.
Malik Willis too. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I do think Malik Willis hadn't got a fair shake in Tennessee as well too. So, but that's another conversation. I would rather have DJ than what other options are here. $40 million Kirk Cousins. Yeah, talk about it. For all the people that hating on DJ's contract, look at Kirk Cousins. $45 million, and then he drafted a quarterback over him. Because they not even sold on what they just paid that man. What y'all think on Allen Robinson? We're going to talk about the roster here in just a minute, so hold that comment, New York Giants. I was sold with Daniel Jones at the time. I would have took Desmond Ridder. Yeah,
and we would have been in a way worse situation.
I was over Daniel Jones too. I really was, man. And that's why it's like, people out here saying I'm defending Daniel Jones. I'm defending the Giants, bro. Trust me. If they trade Daniel Jones tomorrow, you won't see a tear out of NYG's face.
Right.
Mara doesn't mess around like that. They're gonna draft a guy at the top of one. Yeah, I didn't like the Mara comment saying that we need to draft a running back early.
For some reason. It's cool, man.
Yeah, man. Mara, just like I said, John Mara, man, just fall back, man. Don't be Jerry Jones, bro. I always love how strong the Giants defense were in the past, but after the OBJ pickup, it seems like the Giants flipped and tried to be offensive powerhouse, and it didn't work out that way. Good comment, Koof, man, because we've always been a defensive-minded team. People don't want to hear that shit. It's 2024. You got to get with the times. You need an offense. You need an offense. You need an offense. You need an offense. What won Kansas City the Super Bowl? Their defense.
Defense that whole
You know what I'm saying? What before Tom Brady became Tom Brady, I think in them first 3 Super Bowls they won, it was off the back of that defense.
Mm-hmm.
We won Super Bowls off the defense. Pittsburgh, defense. Baltimore, defense. Should I continue?
Mm-hmm.
Or is this an offensive league like they say? Because y'all so enamored with the quarterback position.
And I'm gonna say this about Desmond Ridder too. Desmond Ridder was playing on a good Atlanta Falcons offense. I mean, those guys had one of the best offensive lines in football. All them guys are getting paid off the offensive line. They had Drake London and Bijan Robinson, and Desmond Ridder looked like a disaster. So if you can't play behind a good line, I don't know what type of quarterback you are. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Desmond Ridder's a bad quarterback, and you know how I know? Because we called the games. Watch this dude. I watched this dude at 9 o'clock in the morning. I think it was against I can't remember. Was it Buffalo? But the Falcons were balling, and he was a bad quarterback.
He held them back. He held them back last year.
Yeah, he's a bad quarterback. Like, we know what a bad quarterback looks like. You know what I'm saying? Because the Falcons got the pieces. They got the O-line. They got a decent defense. They got weapons.
If he would have played better, I think they would have been in the playoffs for sure.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate you, man, for subbing, man. Thank you for the subscription. Mara be sending messages in Hard Knocks. Stop. Guys, are you all gone? Yeah. Mara doesn't know ball. Hard Knocks confirmed that. Yeah, he's a fan. You can tell he's a fan, man. He's a fan, and that's why owners shouldn't make football decisions. I was kind of hoping they would build the defense to a powerhouse, get some O-line and run. Our defense could be close to elite. I think our defense is close. Peace, Chris Hunter. Appreciate you tapping in, man. Thank you. Ridder is horrible. Yes, confirmed. Okay, but let's get into the 53-man roster projection. We're gonna leave the Hard Knock stuff alone for right now. And the New York Giants, well, I'm going to go through some, let me do it like this. We're going to look at the roster, and then I'm going to give you my kind of prediction, and then we can throw it around the table and see what you guys think. So let me get to the New York Giants. Clear some of this stuff out the way. All right. Share screen. Cool.
Shit,
All right.
Crazy. Jumbo boxes though. Hey, Ghost Dog, appreciate you rejoining, bro. Thank you so much, Ghost Dog. Appreciate you. One of my day ones.
Facts, man. Salute, man. Always much love and respect, man. I got to talk to Ghost on the stream one time, man. I wouldn't mind having you come on the stream with us sometimes, Ghost, man. If you have time, you're always welcome. And you know, all you guys, man. You know, except Coach Dave. Can't have him up here no more. It ain't happening no more, bro. When you got my bro like that, bro, I'm not fucking with you. Cause Coach is the calmest dude I know. If you got him tight, you out.
Yeah, you doing some work.
Word. But let's talk about this roster. So we're gonna start with the quarterback. Now, do you guys feel like they carry 3 quarterbacks? Let me kind of get down here a little bit. All right. Do you guys feel like they carry 3 quarterbacks or 2 quarterbacks? I only have them with Locke and Jones. I think they try to find a way to get DeVito on the practice squad. But what y'all think about that?
Yeah, I agree too. I think it's only going to be 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think it's only going to be 2 quarterbacks too, because I think they're going to try to keep somebody like a weapon out there on the field, like a Tyrone Tracy. And I do believe we'll get to the running backs, but I think they only keep 2 to keep an extra roster spot open. Unless that emergency quarterback doesn't count against your 48 that day. So I don't know. If it doesn't count, they'll keep 3. But if he counts, they'll keep 2, in my opinion.
Coach, what's your thoughts?
DeVito will be on another roster after training camp, so they're going with 2.
You think somebody claims him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is a good chance though.
I think DeVito's a decent quarterback. Yeah,
he do got some tape out there. So, yes, it's gonna be a dicey situation, but I think they could always pick up another quarterback, for the practice squad just to have that emergency quarterback because you're gonna need them, especially with let's keep it up. Be honest, Daniel Jones's injury history ain't the greatest, so you wanna have that insurance. You know, like Shane said in Hard Knocks, we gotta protect ourselves. So they, you know, they're monitoring this situation. I have no faith in Nathan Rourke.
I think he makes the practice squad if DeVito leaves, like Coach says. But
yeah,
the quarterback position is easy. It's Daniel Jones
and Drew Lock. I'm right now with the running back situation. I'm only putting 3 on there, and the reason right now is because I think they're gonna add a back. I'm not sure about Dante Miller. Corbin's had multiple opportunities to make the roster. They always leave him off for some reason, even though I think he has some talent. Miller's, he could make it, but I don't know, man. I think they're missing what me, Pat, you know, and Coach, we've all said, and I think they're missing that bruising running back. And maybe it's Najee Harris, or maybe it's somebody else they get off the free agent list, man. But right now, I got 3 running backs. What's y'all's thoughts on that?
I totally agree, man. Man. I see the same thing, man. I see the same thing that you said. They're going to get 3 on here, but like I said, they could be adding another running back.
I want to see what Jacob Sailors does. Does he transfer what he did in the UFL to make a run at a spot, because he can run in between the tackles also. So, you know, he was productive in the UFL. So, can that carry over? I mean, but then again, you know, is it a wear and tear situation? So I'm just intrigued by Sailors to see. I can understand the 3 backs. So, you know, because it's also a numbers game. If you go with more than 3 backs, you got to cut somewhere else, and where you're going to take from. And being in this day and age, and you look at the coaching staff, and what do we say about Dable, he wants to pass more. So is he going to carry more than 3 running backs?
That's a good point, Coach. That's a good point.
That's a very good point. I'm going to say 4. And I do believe if we don't trade for Najee Harris, I do believe we pick up either Latavius Murray because of the
Buffalo connection
or Kareem Hunt. I would love Kareem Hunt on this team, bro. I'll be honest.
like
that's the guy that we need to pick up that 3rd and 1 and 30 inches. I know, Coach, when he did come on for the strings for the when we called the Giants game, I know he seen me in NYG going crazy about 3rd and 1s, and we could never pick up 3rd and 1, bro. Kareem Hunt changes that, bro.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, man. Look, I'm gonna make a video about that. That's another video I'm gonna make today. Kareem Hunt changes that in the red zone, goal line, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. That dude knows how to pick up those small yardage situations. And so what if he takes some snaps away from somebody like a Singletary or a Tyrone Tracy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think Tracy though, I think they might want to use him in the kicking game. You know what I'm saying? So that again, me and Coach talked about this too. If you're gonna be using 2 kick returners now with the new kick return rules, you know, now you're gonna be looking to add an extra receiver on the back end or an extra running back on the back end to fill those slots. You know what I'm saying? To give you that extra boost in the kicking game. Tyrone Tracy can serve that purpose as well as, you know, being a 3rd down running back as well. But I think as a rookie, you know, maybe that might be his path to get on this team initially as a 5th round pick, just starting out. Like, okay, we need you on special teams. We're going to give Singletary and whoever they bring in along with Eric Gray the majority, because you don't want Eric Gray back there, that's for sure. So we're going to give these guys a majority of the running workload while you focus on being a dynamic kick returner in your rookie season. That could be the way they could approach it.
Yeah, and let's not always forget, too, because, you know, the running back position, they get hurt a lot, too. So, I mean, some of these guys can still make the team during the season.
Hey, I can see a situation where Kareem Hunt can become the primary back in a couple of situations. I understand what you're saying, Dash. Dash comment says signing over our draft picks. I got a problem with that. We'll never know what these running backs are. So why you don't have no problem signing somebody like a Gilmore or Xavier Howard over Cordell Flott? He's a draft pick too. You never know what he's going to be if you sign over him. I know what Kareem Hunt brings. I'll be honest with you. Those 3rd and short situations, those situations keeps the game in flow for your team. And that breaks down the defense if you continue to get those 3rd and short situations to keep drives going. That's the difference between a 3 and out or going down the field and getting some points and taking time off the clock. That's what I'm thinking about with Kareem Hunt. There's a difference between bringing in Xavier Howard and Cordell Flott might not even see the field anymore. Singletary and Tyrone Tracy, like Tyrone Tracy and Eric Gray. How many people in the chat and how many people on this panel believe Eric Gray can turn into a primary back for us?
I think he can do okay. I did predict him to have like 600 yards, so I got to defend myself on that. But like, as a primary back,
he could be that primary back.
Nah. I think he could be a good change of pace. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
No, I think Eric. I'm sorry, I'm answering questions way down at the bottom.
Nah, you good. Says too bad we didn't pick up Deontay Foreman. He's solid.
Foreman would have been perfect for us too, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That damn Jets picked up the running back from Wisconsin. He in the wrong damn New York jersey.
Braylon?
The Jets got
Braylon Allen.
A hell of a
man, I know.
He ain't gonna get no clock over there.
And Breece Hall, yeah, but
Yeah,
What's
you
good, Q Burrow?
Braylon Allen on the
What's
practice.
good, Alex? What's good, man? New York Giants says Eric Gray can't break tackles. Dash says that's my point of view. We don't know. Alex says Gray ain't a primary back. Could he be short yardage? Maybe. What we got here? I don't know. That's a tough one. He didn't get time to play, but primary back, nah. Yeah, I'm not with the primary back. I think he could be a good change of pace back, though. If given the opportunity, man, and it's gonna depend a lot on this offensive line to block. See, the problem I had with the Giants' offensive line, especially in 2023, they couldn't do either one good. They couldn't run block well or pass block well. I think you have to be at least halfway decent at one of the two. You know what I'm saying? So,
and Eric Gray can break tackles. For the person that say you can't break tackles, Eric Gray can break some tackles.
Giants. Yeah, I thought he played well last year.
Let me ask Coach this, because Coach always sees something that I don't see when it comes to certain things. Do you believe Eric Gray can be that short yardage back that we need? I want to ask you that question. I want your legit opinion on this.
It's a possibility. Yeah, he can be. I mean, he does run tough. He does run strong in between the tackles. So the possibility is there. The question is, if an offensive lineman doesn't get that block, can he also make them miss at the point of attack? And when I say that is, you're trying to run in between the say the 3 or the 4 hole, and there's a defender there and he's headed into that gap. Can he make him miss there? Because that means the gap is smaller than, if he got outside the edge or he got to the second level and he has more space to make a guy miss. Does he have that capability to make a guy miss in that holes? Because it helps out the offensive lineman. But can he be a short yardage? He does run tough. I will say that. So there is that possibility. But again, he hasn't had enough opportunities to really do that. So, and that's the biggest thing. But
all right,
Olsen
Coach says, Kareem Hunt or Eric Gray?
Kareem Hunt.
Okay. I know I'm not tripping on that, but yeah.
It's a proven commodity. That's a proven commodity. I mean, there's no doubting that. So the only question is the wear and tear on his body, injuries. That would be the only question that you would have to legitimately put into the discussion point between the two.
Mm-hmm.
What about this?
And Kareem Hunt has had some injuries.
Or Kareem Hunt?
I'm sorry, who?
Najee Harris or Kareem Hunt?
I can't see us getting Najee Harris. It just for me. What do you get? First of all, what are you giving up to get him?
They're saying a fifth.
Pat now, if you can get a 5th round for him, but the question is, how productive
you're gonna have to pay him after this season.
And how productive is he going to be behind? Because we don't know what we have with this offensive line right now, to be honest with you.
That's true.
Well, that Pittsburgh offensive line wasn't anything to knock.
Be proud of.
But better than us. That's the point. I mean, they were definitely better than us, and they played in a tougher division overall from top to bottom. So in all those teams in that division, you're going up against 6 times in the season.
Serious.
That's some tough defense that you're going up against, between Cleveland, the Ravens, even Cincinnati. So, I mean, I'm not saying Najee Harris is a scrub, so please do not take it that way. And plus, look at his size. Look at the backs that we have right now. Well, Tracy is probably a taller back, so I digress. I back up off of that but Harris does also run a little bit more upright. There are moments that he kind of reminds me of an Eric Dickerson in terms of how high he runs. He doesn't get short and stout, a lot. So, but if I'm going to choose the two, I'm going to take Kareem Hunt right now.
Ferry says John Mara isn't signing a 20-year-old running back who beat down a girl on camera. Sorry, guys. Again, Mara needs to stay out the way. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's rejuvenated his career after that.
Right. And if Joe Shane thinks this is what's best for this team, and everything checks out with him meeting him and seeing what type of person he is, that's the one thing that Shane has preached, and I love it. Shane and Dable is they want to get to know these people. You see it in the Hard Knocks. They want to get to know their players instead of just drafting them based on talent. I don't know the Giants process before, because we never got video behind the scenes of how they really operated. It was just a bunch of media narratives. But the way I see them operating now is like, okay, John Mara, we can't just base this off character. Or base this off talent. They want to know the player, because people do change. And you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're an asshole or just a douchebag like Jay Cutler or lazy like Jamarcus Russell, it ain't gonna work out for you in this league. You gotta have a certain mentality, and that's why they interview these kids and they want to get to learn and know what type of person they are. But if John Mara is just going off background checks, then would nobody be playing for the fucking Giants?
Right.
So, like,
when you say asshole, for me, I just want to make sure. I want to understand. When you say asshole, what do you mean?
Just somebody's whose mentality is not all about football.
Okay.
That's kind of what I mean by that.
So
I don't mean
you.
like somebody is just has a type of personality that comes like Aaron Rodgers. Not like that. Aaron Rodgers is an asshole, but he can play
you
football.
mean all bought in. I got you now. I got you. I'm with you.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Maybe I used the wrong terminology there, but goof man, ghost dog. But yeah, so all right, let's get back to it. So next thing we got is the TE position. And I got 4. I got Belly, I got Chris Manhertz, I got Theo Johnson, and I got Lawrence Cager. I kind of struggle with Cager a little bit. I don't know if they may be wanting to use him in that Darren Waller type role, or is that going to be made more for Theo Johnson? You know what I mean? So talk to me about how y'all see this tight end room shaking out.
You want to start with Man Cave? Or?
Cave, you down there? I'm sorry, I got you covered up down there, bro.
I see Daniel Bellinger, man. Daniel Bellinger be number 1, and Theo Johnson will be in there too. Those two will be the top 2, and then Cager will be in there too. And what's that? The blocking? What's that? Manhertz.
Manhertz is that blocking tight end, and if you go watch him block,
he gonna be in there.
He's serious, yo. Yeah, we need that dude on this team.
Packages, a lot of those passing down packages and stuff like that to help get that ball downfield.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, but I see 4 tight ends. I don't know how you guys feel about Jack Stoll, the guy they picked up from Philly, another kind of blocking tight end, or Tyree Jackson, who I think's been on a team a few years now.
Been on the practice squad.
Yeah, he got hurt though. Yeah. But what you guys feel about the tight end room, Coach?
I got 3. Bellinger, Johnson, Manhertz. Cager is going to depend on what you do with the wide receivers.
I see. Yeah. I'm going to the wide receivers next. Pat, what's your thoughts on the tight end room?
I'm with Coach, depending on what they do with receivers. So I'm gonna say if they keep extra receiver, it will be Belly, Theo Johnson, and Manhertz. If they do what I think they're gonna do at receiver, I think they keep maybe 4 tight ends, and I think they keep Cager going back and forth between the practice squad. He will be that 4th guy. Hell, if they keep 4 running backs, Cager definitely not making the team. because they're gonna need Man Hurts, man. I think Man Hurts has to be on this team, bro.
He has to be, especially if you rolling.
Dash.
Yeah, with this line to help the line. That's exactly what I'm getting at. No real well, Kjaer. Yeah, I don't know. He just seems to stick around. I don't know, man.
He's like the Isaiah Simmons of the offense.
Yeah, he's just. I thought he was gonna get cut last year when they brought Waller in, and he made the team somehow. So, yeah, I do think they want that kind. Unless they think Theo Johnson can be that down the field type tight end, because I don't think it's Bellinger. I think he's more of a blocking type intermediate guy. So unless they think that can be Theo Johnson, I think they might keep Kjaer around. And Brian Dable did mention how much Kjaer improved, so they really like Kjaer. I'm just saying, you know what I mean. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm not his biggest fan, but
you know
he's
worked with Kjaer since he was young. So Brian Dable.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He has faith in Kjaer, but all right. Here's well, not the biggest one, but here's one of the biggest ones. Wide receiver, and I got 7 right now. Malik Neighbors, Slayton, Wandell, Jalen Hyatt, Isaiah Hodgins, and Gunnar Olszewski. What y'all think about that?
Well, Neighbors, Slayton, Wandell Robinson, Jalen Hyatt for sure 4. The Isaiah Hodgins thing, I think is going to be between 3 people: Isaiah Hodgins, Allen Robinson, and Bryce Ford-Wheat. Who wins out of those 3? And I give Hodgins the edge right now because of the familiarity with the team. But if Bryce Ford-Wheaton shows something, man, that could be dope for this team. To be honest with you, because he's a red zone threat at the very least. And to be honest with you, if that dude didn't get hurt, who knows what he could be doing right now? Because I actually think he can develop to be a decent number 2 receiver. That big guy opposite of Neighbors that you will actually need. And you can still have Hyatt. You can still have Wandell Robinson and Slayton. And then Hyatt
I did put 6 on here.
McKenzie is 7, right?
But Isaiah McKenzie, I don't know if he makes it.
Do we do the same thing to him we did to Cole Beasley?
That's what I'm saying.
Cole Beasley was over here. I don't know. And if that happens, no veteran receiver is going to want to sign here anymore. Coming out of the slot like that. If they do that again. So I don't know. I don't think Allen Robinson makes it, but who knows? Yeah,
I don't think I meant to put 7 wide receivers here though. I did because I got it in my notes. So I'm gonna add in I'm gonna actually add in Allen Robinson. For some reason I don't think Bryce Ford-Wheaton makes it. I don't think Miles Boykin makes it. Isaiah Hodgins, maybe. Nah, you know what? I'm gonna put McKenzie in there because of the special teams reasons.
Right.
And I do think they wanna. And McKenzie does give you flexibility in case something happens to Wandell Robinson.
And then if you bring McKenzie, I'm getting rid of Gunner.
Right.
Isaiah McKenzie does everything Gunner does on special teams, and Gunner can't do half the shit Isaiah McKenzie can do on the field.
Right. And plus, they changed the kickoff rule the way they do.
But I'm thinking they keeping 7. So it's either gonna be Gunner or Allen Robinson to me, between those 2. I don't think Ford-Wheaton or any of these undrafted free agents make it. It's too much depth at the wide receiver room. So if I had to pick now, I'm putting Isaiah McKenzie in there. So y'all can just add that into the graphic. I'm going to have McKenzie. I'm going to have Allen Robinson out and Ford-Wheaton possibly going to the practice squad.
What about the dude from Wyoming?
John Giles, I think that's his name.
No, it's Asante.
Asante.
I heard
Asante.
he's been making some noise, man.
Right.
I heard that dude's been making some noise.
I will say the Giants do have this type of track record of getting these receivers to kind of come out of nowhere. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe you have a Victor Cruz on your hands, but then again, we always get hyped up about some of these guys too. Remember that dude? Y'all know who I'm talking about, man. Another preseason Hulk Hogan, as Pat calls him. Big tall guy, man.
Oh,
Everybody was so
serious.
not Sills. This was a while back. He used to always do good in the printing. Dude never did it.
Ramses Barden.
Ramses Barden.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly the type of situation I see Bryce Ford Wheaton in. You know what I mean?
Bryce Ford Wheaton is he's like Collins, man. Them injuries just keep taking their tolls.
Yeah, you got a UDFA coming off an injury. I don't know, man. That's gonna be tough for the kid. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't counting him out though. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be tough.
Excuse me.
It's gonna be tough. Yeah. So, all right, that's that. So let's get to the elephant room, literally. Oh, nice music. Nice little.
Who did that, Coach?
Yeah, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but it kind of worked out.
That's just a notification on my phone. That's all.
Oh, okay.
So,
That was neat. I'm gonna have to get that.
Excuse me, you ain't asked me about the wide receivers.
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. My fault, bro.
Okay, you gonna keep this a coach on.
Yeah, man. Let's get back to it, man.
Now, a lot of this is works together with the numbers game, with the running backs, the tight end, and the wide receivers, and that's where Lawrence Cager starts to factor in, especially with the wide receivers. Pat, you said it. For the first four, we all agree: Neighbors, Slayton, Robinson, and Hyatt. All right. Now, Slayton, unless they trade him, and that changes a lot of things right there. But Pat, you said it best in terms of Hodgins, Robinson, and Ford Wheat, and I agree. They're battling for a spot. The McKenzie and Gunner situation, to me, they're pretty much the same, except, like you said, McKenzie gives you flexibility also on the field. So now the question is, if you're going to use him as a backup to Wan'Dale, then that might open up the door for Gunner, because if he's there, then, do you also continue to use him on the back end to return? So how do they look at it in that regard? So that's where, Gunner, but if you're going to choose between the two, then it's going to be McKenzie. McKenzie is going to be playing the return. So again, it's how many receivers are you going with? Right now, I'm really looking at 6. I'm really looking at 6 with Gunner being that extra one. In case they want to use him on the specials, then you use McKenzie a little bit more. What they have listed as their first 6 is kind of how I'm looking at it, except for the Hodgins, Robinson, and Ford Wheaton. And then Gunner will probably be that wild card. Okay, and again, Cage also comes into the equation because of his flexibility at tight end, but he's also a big body, decent route runner. So if you do go that route, then you know what, that might say, well, then again, you might not want to go with Hodgins, Robinson, and Ford Wheaton because you have Cager. So me right now, I'm going, if I'm going to pick the 6, it's the top, the first and the second units on the depth chart right now.
What y'all think about what Dash says here? It says if Tracy can return kicks or punts, Gunner and McKenzie might not make it.
That's true.
That's
if
possible.
They feel that he's the punt returner and kick returner, both them guys might get cut.
Do
they ever use a returner for both? I don't think they've ever done.
I don't think they've ever done it either.
So
because it was Gunner and Eric Gray.
Gunner is the punt returner. Remember that, y'all. He played kick returner last year because of Eric Gray. They didn't have anybody.
It's an emergency, exactly.
Yeah, but he's primarily the punt returner. That's why I'm almost damn sure he makes his roster. You know what I'm saying? As the punt returner, the kick returner is where it gets sticky. You can put McKenzie in there. You can put Tracy, whoever. Whatever extra.
Does Asante or Giles, do they have that capability also?
Asante does.
So though that's why it's training camp is going to be a big key, especially on special teams, and that's where these numbers. And then, like I said about the tight end Cager, because if Cager shows that he can be reliable, and like you said, can he play a little bit of that Wallaroo type of role, inside outside, on occasion in line at the tight end with his hand in the dirt, that might give you reason to go with less wide receivers, because you're going with 4 tight ends at that point in time. So
That's true.
let me say this too, Coach. If they have faith in Tracy and punt and kick return, that opens up the door for Miles Boykin.
Okay.
Because Boykin could be that gunner. You see what I'm saying? And if you let go of Gunner and Isaiah McKenzie, I do believe Miles Boykin makes this team, because he's a damn good gunner.
I forgot about that too. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Does Allen Robinson play any special teams?
No,
I don't think he does it.
Yeah,
I think it would be disrespectful to have him on special teams.
I agree.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I agree with Pat. I think the competition is actually between him and Isaiah Hodgins, because I think they fit a similar type role. You know what I mean? So,
who's more reliable? Who's more consistent in terms of catching the rock? Route running. So and then I'll always go back and shout out to Dash. He's always talked about this. Follow the money. If it comes down to, if they're both equal, who's making more money?
Yep.
That's a good question, because they did bring in Allen Robinson, I think, on a vet contract.
Yeah, veteran.
But Hodgins is on his.
He's basically on a vet minimum
vet contract too. So yeah, I know. But all right, so we good with the wide receivers. Let's get to the O-line now.
Are you writing down the numbers on how many you
I am. That's why I got my little notepad here. I don't know if you can see it, but that's why I added in that extra receipt, because I said I put 6 names on the screen, but I had 7 written here as wide receivers. So O-line, I got 10, and I know that's a lot, but
the injuries,
the uncertainty.
Yeah, you're gonna have to let Coach go on this one first.
Yeah, maybe I'm a little off, but I think and I do think you could, if you decide to take a O-lineman off, maybe that opens up another spot, as we talked about with the running back, because only got 3 initially, or with the tight end. So I got Thomas, Runyon Jr., John Michael Smith, Jermaine, Lightskin Jermaine, Evan Neal, Aaron Stinney, Austin Scottman, Matt Nelson, Josh Azudu, and McKeithen. And McKeithen is the one that I would leave off if I need to cut somebody. What's your thoughts, Coach? Talk to me, bro. What you got?
Oh boy.
Right.
I know that's a lot.
There's always a headache talking about this offensive line, bro.
I know, right?
To be real with you. Always a damn headache.
Let me start by this, because y'all know for the longest while I've been big on Marcus McKeithen. He's not making the team. And that's big. That's big for me to say that he's not making the team.
Yeah.
Practice squad maybe, but the roster, no. I don't think he makes it. You're starting 5, Joshua Azudu, Stinney. I'm comfortable saying they're going to be the first 7. Stoutman maybe, because you might need another 7. But then that's where it is. What about Kajus? If I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, Yadic.
So that back end, that last few, are they going to stay with Mayfield? Because he was here last year, and I don't really know much about Nelson. I really don't. I've been trying to do a little bit of research.
He's the tackle from Detroit.
I know he's from Detroit.
He played some spot I think he started a few games for them. I think last year actually.
I'm not comfortable though.
Yeah.
Zudo at tackle though. That's the whole thing with me. That's the thing.
Right.
Is he better at guard? And then you can say, is it Nelson? Is it Kajus? This is tough. Kubas, that's right. That's the kid from North Dakota State.
Right.
Oh, North Dakota. Is it North
No,
Dakota?
North Dakota State. You right.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But I think if anything, he might be a practice squad guy. I just he has to show me. I haven't really seen him in the pros as yet. College is one thing, and you played at the FCS level, so I've really got to see how you can handle yourself in the pros before I say you're going to be on the second depth chart. But the tackle position is the one that is concerning. It's really concerning because I look at Zudo as a guard. I'm sorry, I just do. Can he come in and left tackle at that? That's even more concerning for me.
I got right tackle at most for Zudo.
Yeah, and that's what concerns me. But does Kajus show something? In training camp. So if I'm going to numbers game right now, I'm really thinking 9. I mean, I get the 10. I understand the 10, which is a valid argument and a great point. But like I said, McKeithen is the one for me that I can't see making. So maybe that pushes it to 9 off of your list, NYG. But I guess it's Azudu, Stoutman, Stenny, Nelson. Yeah, that's 9 right there. So I'll go with that right now. And then they're keeping an eye out on the market for a tackle because then, does that mean, and if Nelson and Azudu, first of all, Nelson can be a swing tackle, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So then that means, do you keep Azudu and bump him inside the guard? And then what does that do with Stenny and also Stoutman because he can play backup center? So
I think they want Zudu to have guard tackle flexibility. And the reason for that is I'm guessing because, if you got Evan Neal and if Illuminor is your guard, and I guess if they have to move a tackle, they're going to keep Illuminor inside and possibly put Zudu on the outside or maybe put Zudu on the inside, move Illuminor to the outside. Either way, you got 2 players, Illuminor, light-skinned Jermaine, and the Zudu with guard tackle flexibility. I don't think Matt Nelson gives you that. Martha McKeithen doesn't give you that. Stenny nor Scoutman gives you that either. So that's how I think they're going to work on with the tackle as far as, if they got to mix and match, which we don't like, but injuries do happen, and you got to account for that as well. So, but Pat, what's your thoughts on this O-line situation?
As you know, Thomas, they're just starting 5, like Coach said. Bring back up your graphic.
Got you. Yep.
Stanium and Azudu, that's 7. They got to get a backup center. They got to keep the backup center. I think the backup center is going to be Schlotman. That's 8. I'm like, Coach, this is so tough, bro. I got Matt Nelson making it, man, because they got to have that swing tackle. And I don't know if I trust Zudu to be the swing tackle more than I trust Nelson. He did it very well with the Lions. And if I have to go 10, it's going to be between Marcus McKeithen and that Kajus guy. And if you got Azudu at guard, that means you got Runyon, light-skinned Jermaine, Azudu, and Stenny at guards. Schlotman is the backup center, so that's 2 centers. Do you keep another guard or do you keep another tackle?
I'm going to throw something at y'all. Okay. Just for argument's sake, Pat. and I'm hating saying this, but if Evan Neal shows that he can't handle the tackle, that means you're going to move Illuminor to the tackle. Who are you bringing out of those guards to bring up to be the starting guard? Because that means Evan Neal is not going to be Evan Neal is going to the second unit now.
Stenny.
Okay.
You know, Stenny was a starting guard for the Buccaneers. He could start on most teams.
So
Stenny would be that guard
over the Zulu at this
okay.
point. Yeah.
So and that's where does that open? No, not really. But then that means you move Neal to the tackle, and then you can move Zulu inside the guard. So yeah, okay, it works out the same way. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, I'm with you though, Coach. McKeithen is the only question mark for me. And the only reason I got him on the roster is because he's a draft pick. And I think if it came down to him or some of the other guys that weren't drafted or weren't drafted as high, which he wasn't drafted, he was a 5th round pick, but still, you know, teams don't. If it comes down between undrafted free agents and draft picks, you usually lean towards the draft picks. If it's a choice between a back end roster spot.
Yeah.
So but I'm
that
with Coach,
might
though.
allow McKeithen to get in through the back door.
But there, he is definitely on the bubble, and yeah, pause. But I do agree, Coach. If you take and you keep 9 linemen, then yeah, you open up a possible somewhere else like a running back or a tight end position.
Man, Evan Neal got to work out, bro. I'm sorry. Evan Neal got to work out, man.
I know how I feel about Evan Neal.
Yeah, I agree, man.
I almost on your path is like, man, if you don't believe in this guy, bench him now.
I was going to ask.
I think they believe in him, man.
See, I'm different, Pat. I'm like, if you don't believe in him, then you got to trade him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Bench him and trade him.
Yeah, just trade him, get rid of him, and y'all know that's hard for me to say. That's hard for me to say. So y'all know I believe in him, but I'm also being fair and I'm being realistic. You know, if you don't work out, then the best thing is try and get something of value for him, whatever you can.
Yeah, because right now he might be able to pull your 3rd round pick. I
want it to work out.
Of course.
I don't. You
know, you don't trust him. I
don't trust him. And if we got guys here that are more proven, I mean, in this a critical season, as we know, you know, especially for the management team and the quarterback, I want a little more certainty there. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, look, if it's looking iffy in camp, go ahead and switch it. Make that move. If it's looking iffy now, if you a coach. I know you're not going to get all of the information that you need, but you can gather some information in practices and in joint practices and in camp where you can make a good judgment call on whether Neal is ready to go at tackle or not. And remember, he's coming off an injury. I have to keep that in mind because, you know, coming off an injury, you know, you're still working yourself back, so you may not really slow. Yeah, and then you didn't get them reps in OTAs either. So but again,
the new preseason, it's really screwed up for me. It screwed up everything, man. You know, because if you had that 4th preseason game, then you can really see a lot more out of these guys. But now it's like you know, you got to rush people, and I get it. I get where you guys are going. I mean, you know, which sucks for offensive linemen, and it's traditionally. I'm gonna be honest with you. Offensive linemen really take 3 years just as a rookie coming in, just to get comfortable with the NFL. That's the playbook, the practice routine, the competition, everything. Working out, eating, being a professional. It's not easy. And, you know, and injuries have also compounded it for Evan Neal. It's a big factor. It really has. Yeah. You know, it's taken away valuable time for him to be out on the field, and it's shaking his confidence. You know, because I forgot who I was talking to at Alabama. He was confident because he was probably one of the most dominant players, but you get to the NFL and you get bitch slapped. And it really just no, but seriously, man, that shakes your confidence, and that's not trying to disrespect the man. That's just saying, look, we all as a players, I've been bitch slapped before, man. I mean, it happens, and I mean that in a coaching sense. You know, when you get your confidence shaken, and that's what I mean by that. You know, it takes a lot to fight back just to get your mind right. Because once your mind is in the game, your body is really going to follow a lot more at that young stage as a professional athlete. But once your mind is really shaken, man, it really that's why I say I see talent there. I'm more concerned with his psyche.
Yeah. And it's like that with Daniel Jones too. It's one of the main things that I say about Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is a talented quarterback. I think his problem is up here, is mental. You know what I'm saying? That comes from confidence and you know, getting hit. You know,
what's going on, Shakedown?
That definitely affects you. Yeah, shout out to Shakedown. Shout out to Mark Stewart. Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Cave, I know you down there. Didn't get the Cave yet.
Real quick, Iman Perry makes a good statement too. He says you can't fire OG Bobby Johnson and then just trade Neil. Got to give him time. I'm with that too.
Iman, everybody knows I have been the biggest supporter of Evan Neal. What I'm saying is, in the end you're going to just move him and downgrade him, or in a sense, you're really giving up on him. If you don't believe him, because the statement was they don't believe in him. So if you don't believe in him, that's why I say trade him. I agree with you. You don't fire Bobby Johnson, but Bobby Johnson, it wasn't just about Evan Neal. It was about the whole offensive line with Bobby Johnson. So, you know, he gets more blame for Evan Neal, but it's other guys on that offensive line that didn't play well.
John Michael Smith too. A lot of people talk about Evan Neal. And, you know, I got killed last year for saying that I didn't think John Michael Smith played last. Oh, he's a rookie and da, 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 da. I know. I'm saying the man didn't play well. He played okay. You know what I'm saying? So he has to get better. Neil has to get better. You know, that's the thing. Those are two critical. Well, all the positions are critical, but, you know, the center, coach.
Oh, the center, one of the most critical on the team.
Yeah, you got to get better. You know what I'm saying?
If your center is trash, your line can be trash.
Your center is number one, calls your blocking assignments more than anything. The quarterback can call out blocking assignments, but a lot of times, most teams, especially if you have a good center, he's going to kill. He's going to kill what a quarterback says, unless the quarterback sees something that coming off the edge that he can't see. But that's the quarterback's responsibility to communicate that to the center. You know, we got a long hot to the left. We got a long hot. Then the center might say, okay, adjust. Let's slide that way, and have, you know, if we have a back in as a 6, have the back fill on the backside. So it's just little things like. But yeah, to Pat's point, center is like the brain of the offensive line. He's that brain.
Right.
Says Neil was the youngest on the line, the second youngest. The whole line is young now. They brought in a couple of veterans, so I do think that's going to help a young line gel, especially a guy like light-skinned Jermaine, who's really trying to create that camaraderie with the offensive line. You know, he's real vocal, trying to take that leadership role on the line, and you like to see that. You know what I'm saying, from a veteran. All right, let's get to the defense now.
Oh, let me get the O-line.
Oh yeah, you got it. What's your thoughts on?
I think the only thing with all those guys on there, I agree with them except for McKeith. And I think for some reason I don't know where Tyree Phillips is, but I'd rather see Tyree Phillips on that list. You know,
I don't think Tyree Phillips
not on the roster.
He's not on the roster.
No, yeah, he's not on the roster.
If Tyree Phillips is on the roster, shit, I say start him over Evan Neal.
Right, that's what I'm saying. As far as that, you know, swing tackle and things like that.
I think Tyree Phillips is a free agent. I think he had an injury, so I think
he had a horrible injury with us last year
as a free agent. So, he may not be an option, at least not right now.
So I don't think McKeithen's gonna make it. I think the dude from North Dakota State's gonna make it. What's his name? I forgot his last name.
Chajusi.
Right.
Whatever. Light-skinned Jermaine. Nah, light-skinned Jermaine is like 29, I think.
And then for some reason with Evan Neal, I'm thinking that Evan Neal.
Link is in the Big Blue Crew chat, Lou.
Yeah, I'm thinking for some reason Evan Neal's like, if he's not playing in the preseason, I think he's going to be in the PUP at the beginning of the season. I'm thinking his injury is something is going on. He's not. It's taking a little bit too long. So I'm thinking, because I've been seeing in other things where he got Stinney starting and some things. So Stinney starting and Illuminor at right tackle. That's what's going to happen at the beginning of the season if he doesn't play in preseason. I think something's with his injury. And they might just hold him out of preseason to be even more, you know what I'm saying? And if they do that, then you already know what's happening.
Ooh.
What's up, bro? What's good with you?
Tired, bro. Been working.
I hear you. I'm tired too, man. I gotta when I get off the stream, I gotta hit the road again. But yeah, we was just talking about the offensive line, Lou. We're going through the 53-man roster projections just to get you caught up on everything. And we just got done with the O-line. If you want to give your thoughts on it real quick before we get into the defense, I'm going to throw up who I got making the roster, and then you can give me your thoughts, and then we'll go to the defense. So that's who I got. Andrew Thomas, John Runyon Jr., John Michael Smith, Light-Skin Jermaine, Evan Neal, Aaron Stinney, Austin Sculpman, Matt Nelson, Josh Azudu, and Marcus McKeithen.
Man, are we really running with McKeithen again?
Well, that's the debate. That's kind of the one.
You give your. Go ahead.
Yeah, if we already keeping Neal bum ass on the team, we can't keep McKeithen and Neal.
So how many offensive line do you think they're going?
Like Evan Neal, coach. I know you.
No. Pat, look. Your opinion is your opinion.
If we're gonna give Evan Neal another shot, we can't afford to give multiple bums another shot. So McKeithen has been asked, Neal has been asked, Azudu has been asked. The other two dudes who I can't even pronounce, I haven't even seen them. You know what I'm saying?
Slotman
And Stinney. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Lou. Let me say this to you, Lou, because you weren't here in the beginning. What was the first thing I said when it came to Marcus McKeithen, guys?
He said it hurts you. You know what I'm saying? But he's not.
Think he's gonna make the roster.
I said he's not making the roster right off the bat.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you, look, you know me, and I even was just fair with Evan Neal too. I get where everybody's coming from. So, and what did I say? This offensive line is tough to sit here honestly and look at these guys and really try and determine who's making this roster, man. Because
I'm telling you, man. It's frustrating.
Coming from too, though. As much as I don't like the guy, I get it. For a tackle position, 24 games is not enough of a showing, and it's not enough on the job learning, on the job training. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these linemen, they learn in offense playbooks and all that, and on the field and practice. But most of your learning comes under fire, hands-on, in the real mix of it. So I understand where you're coming from, where he's only played 24 games. I get that. But we've been so bad for so long that anybody messing up, we ready to chuck him out of here. And we got to get rid of that mindset too, because we do got to understand that football is a game that takes time to develop these players. You know what I mean? And when you blow it all up like we just did 2 seasons ago and fired everybody, coaches and all, it's going to take some time. We struck lightning in the bottle that first season with Dable, and we made the playoffs and won a playoff game because of DJ, because of Dable's new schemes, and because nobody really had any film on what we were going to do, right? Let's just be honest. But when you're in a rebuild, you're going to have some setbacks. Last year, we had plenty setbacks, injuries, play calling wasn't right with Kafka, a whole plethora of things, the defense coordinator and the coach not seeing eye to eye. So we had a bunch of setbacks last year. We've addressed the offensive line. We've addressed the weapons. We got the defense, in my opinion, damn near where it needs to be. And the question of the offensive line making the roster, I understand why we're giving Neal another shot. I might not like it, but I understand why. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I just don't feel that we can afford to gamble on multiple linemen. So McKeithen, in my opinion, wouldn't make it. Neil, I understand he's a high draft pick, a lot invested in him. We want to see before we get rid of him and he goes somewhere else and excels. We want to make sure we check all our boxes, dot all our I's, and cross our T's. I get that, but we can't gamble with multiple. So, in my opinion, McKeithen would be gone. Isudu would really have to impress to make it, and I've yet to see what Steiny or the other guy can do. So I'm questioning.
Aaron Stinney. Let me just give you a little bit of background, if I possibly can. Aaron Stinney's the guard from Tampa Bay. He started over there last year. I don't know about the PFF grades, but from everything I'm hearing, he's a decent backup. You know what I mean? So, Scoutman, that's the cat from Minnesota. He's gonna be a backup center. Basically, you know, so we don't have to put a Zudu in at center or somebody out of position. You know, he's a center only type player as far as I know. And Matt Nelson, right? And Matt Nelson is going to be. Matt Nelson was a swing tackle in Detroit. Detroit, we know, has one of the best offensive lines in football. He was their swing tackle when he had to step in and play. He played decent. You know, kind of Tyree Phillips level. So that's what as far as the tackles is concerned.
But you know what, the offensive line, I think just like how we had Joe Judge as a coach and we got rid of him and got a better coach in Brian Dable. So I think people want to see with the offensive line, we got rid of Bobby Johnson. Let's see what Carmen Priscilla could do with these guys if he could really help them and change them. So that's what some people want to just give that chance and see if he can work it.
I just think the patience is slim, especially with this offensive line.
Right.
You know. But all right, let's get to the defense. Gonna start off with the D line, and I got Dexter Lawrence, Nunez Roches, I should say, Jordan Phillips, DJ Davidson, Jordan Riley, and so. Five D linemen. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm gonna ask you one question. Are we in our base set? That's just base. That is not all the other stuff. Are we an odd or an even front? Let me back up.
I know what you're talking about. I think I'm thinking an even front.
All right, and all of this is based on interior that you have here. This is not the edges, because ultimately what's going to happen is we know Kayvon and the edge guys are really more defensive ends per se, you know, as opposed to Nacho is a 5 tech defensive end, you know, or, you know, if you want to say 4 defensive end, as opposed to Brian Burns and Kayvon, who were, you know, a 5 wide out to a wide 9 type of a outside edge type of a person. That's why I'm asking this in terms of the numbers. So, because I'll say interior defensive line and then edge.
Well, it's whatever would it Bowen line up with in Tennessee.
And that's the thing. I've heard conflicting. I've heard he's a odd, but then when you look at it, he was even in Tennessee a lot of times.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So it's like, well, wait a minute. You know, I heard he was odd, but when I looked at him, what he did, he was even. So that's why I'm asking this. So, because if you're going based on the numbers,
multiple guy, bro. Like, I don't think he has one set thing. I think it's based on what the offense is doing. One thing, shout out to Tudo for the $4.99 super chat.
Well, coach is saying, like, when you first come out on the field, that first play, I'm guessing, like,
that very first play, yeah, I think we're even.
That's what I think.
So then, if that's the case, then who starts between Phillips and Nunez Roches? Because if we're even, that means. So then, all right. So, and then going to the numbers, which you had 5 interior.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I'm. Oh wait a minute. I'll wait till you get that in, because I was looking at.
Oh yeah. Oh, you looking at the. I was just want to get to these couple comments here. I know Tudo sent the super chat. Tudo, what's good with you, bro? says, we appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Says salutes and respects to the BB crew, Big Blue crew, Capos, Lou, Pat, NYG, Ed, all little people, all old people, short people, Big Blue crew fam in the building. Greetings from me and my mates on the plane.
Be safe
Salute,
too,
be
though,
safe, man. I know you headed out to Tokyo, man. Definitely, man. Salute to you and your boys, man, and hope y'all get there safe, man, and kick some ass. But go ahead, Coach. You got it.
Yeah, no, I'm just because I think we're going to be fine because the last one really to me comes down to Anderson because the guys are on the back end, but then again, what do we do on the edges? So it's like, yeah, I'll go with you. The same ones as you have too. The same 5.
Okay. Cave, I'll let you go ahead and get in there. What's your thoughts on the D line?
Yeah, I don't have no problem with that. Dexter Lawrence, Nunez, Roches, Jordan Phillips, J.D. Davison. That's if he could stay healthy, you know what I'm saying? DJ Davison.
DJ Davison, yeah.
But yeah, I like that, man. I agree.
Lou, you there? You might have stepped away. Pat.
Yo, I gotta go Big Dex, Jordan Riley. I'm putting in Ryder Anderson too.
Ooh, so 6. Or are you taking somebody out?
No, I'm saying they keep 6.
Keep 6.
You got to put Ryder Anderson on here because I think he's that guy that could get that pressure when you need pressure from the defensive tackle position. True. And he can play that defensive end in the 3-4. I think the 3 people they have in there would be Dex, Ryder Anderson, sometimes Riley Jordan or Roche. Man, this one's almost as tough as the offensive line.
And that's
because Elijah Chapman can come in and show some shit too. That boy ain't no joke, man. He's just short. He's only like 5'11", 5'10", 5'11". That's holding him back.
I think that's the reason he's going to end up on the practice squad.
But I think that dude could get pressure, man. You put him and Dex next to each other, or him and Ryder Anderson next to each other.
I'm just saying his height is the only thing that they're gonna utilize.
Let me ask y'all this, cause
discredit.
I had a thought in mind when I did this roster projection, and Coach kind of alluded to it a little bit ago. How many the edge position? Maybe you're gonna move one of these guys down to be a D lineman, and I got one particular player in mind.
Boogie Basham.
Right.
I'm gonna definitely take Boogie Basham spot.
I don't think he makes the team, man. I'm gonna be honest.
I know you don't like him, but
I don't either.
but A, the Giants like him, and B, they actually traded a pick for him. So that again, when you're giving up assets for players, even though it's not a high round pick, I think it was a 7th round pick. It's still like they did with Isaiah Simmons, bringing in Simmons back because they traded for him. You're giving up assets for a player. You don't want to just let him go or walk. You want to see what you can do. Shane Bowen also mentioned Boogie Basham in Hard Knocks. He said, "Is this a role for Boogie Basham? That pass rusher next to Dex. Can he develop and be that guy?"
He definitely can't play edge.
If he's asking the question, then that's not a positive in my assumption. When you ask question,
he mentioned specifically. I do remember him mention Ryder Anderson and Boogie Basham as possible. Because remember, their dilemma was: do we go get an edge or do we solidify that spot next to Dexter? And so the back and forth was between the Giants brash was, do they see Ryder Anderson or Boogie Basham as one of those guys that can be that person next to Dexter Lawrence, or are we going to go out and get an edge and help Kayvon, somebody opposite of Kayvon Thibodeau? Like, which one was? That's why the 2 players they were targeting was Christian Wilkins and Brian Burns.
Yo, Sleazy, they could write anything on them reports, and in the NFL, 6 feet is not tall at all.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron Donald had the same things coming out. I think Aaron Donald's only like 5'11", 6 foot.
Yeah, Aaron Donald was one of those. Mm-hmm. Yup.
Same thing with John Randall. I think he was only listed as 6 foot.
Marcus Golden wasn't tall neither.
See, wait a minute. Going back to Pat's point too about the 6 interior, because that's basing it off of a 3 front.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm not a Boogie bashing fan. Again, don't shoot the messenger. I'm not capable for this dude to be on the roster. I'm just trying to think like the Giants and what they're trying to do with some of these players.
Boogie bash.
I don't agree with you that Hyatt is a #1 wide receiver as opposed to Neighbors, but I agree with that back shot, though. Hey.
Boogie out of here, yeah.
Got you thinking Hyatt is better than Neighbors, but whatever
I'm staying with my 5. I'm staying with my 5.
What up, Corey Lee?
You
is better than Neighbors, bro.
I don't know if that's a
like if you're doing the nose tackle and DNs together, which they are together. See, they got DN, nose tackle, and defensive tackle. So if you base it like that, the nose tackle is going to be Dexter Lawrence and Jordan Riley. And I think DJ Davidson. I think DJ Davidson's a nose tackle.
I know that too, though. I've been the main one making online videos since I started YouTube. I know how.
And Jordan, if you look at this, Pat, though, this is a 3. This is an odd base, though. Yeah. That's why I asked that question.
If you go with the odd base, one defensive end, a nose tackle, and basically another defensive end, but they say defensive tackle.
But that's where you need the 3. That's where you need the 6 interior, which you were arguing for.
Yeah, yeah. I know they're gonna keep 6 interior. They might keep 7.
I gotta change. I'm going to change. Looking at this is telling me this is
okay, Coach. Who's your starting 3? Dex at the nose tackle for sure. My starting 3. People might not like this, but my starting 3 is Dexter Lawrence, Ryder Anderson.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Huh?
No, just venting. Stupid ass politicians saying stupid stuff after stupid stuff happens.
Oh man, I'm done with politics. But my starting 3, to be honest with you, my most dominant starting 3, where I can guard the run or the pass. I'm going Dexter Lawrence, Ryder Anderson, and Jordan Riley. I want Jordan Riley to beat out not New Year's Roches. I think he's a better player than Noches.
I think so.
He can be too. Yeah. I think he has
those will be my starting 3.
He's just young. Yeah, he's just young though. That's why. Yeah.
And you're gonna have to keep Noches, Jordan Phillips, and Davison. So I think they keep Chapman too.
No,
I'm gonna say 7.
I'm going 6.
Yeah, 7's too much.
No, I get where Pat's going. I do. And
I
to me, it's not too much.
But
it's not too much, really. Technically, to me, it's not. I understand why he's saying that.
Most teams keep 7.
Yeah, between 6 and 7.
6 and 7. Yeah.
If you're a 3-4 now, if you're a 4-3, you keep between about 5 and 6.
You do keep it about 6. Yeah.
My starting 3 is Dex, Phillips, and Anderson, man. That gives me the athleticism on the edge with Ryder Anderson, and Jordan Riley shown that he can get upfield too.
Yes.
When you allow him to play, and you already know what Dex bringing. So yeah, but go ahead, Coach. My bad.
No. I'm with you. I'm going 6. So that's why I changed it from the 5 interiors. Again, please understand, I'm talking about just interior. That's between the nose tackle, and I call them 2 DEs. I'll call them 2 DEs. They have a DT, but it's DEs and the DT.
And 1 nose tackle.
Yeah. That just tells me it's an that's what I mean by odd base, because it's an odd and hand in the dirt type of guys. Because Burns and Kayvon can stand up, so that's why I don't consider them hand in the ground defensive linemen.
So if you guys were keeping 6 to 70 linemen, then I guess edge, we're not. All right, this is what I got for edge. So I got Burns, Kayvon, Aziz, Basham, and Fox. Now, the reasoning behind this was that I was thinking that they might use Boogie Basham on the D line. I do know that Kayvon, Burns, and Ojulari, those are gonna be your. But again, Ojulari, injury history. You know what I'm saying? In case of injury, which we are the New York Giants, we know how this works. That's why I'm like, okay, Tamon Fox, Boogie Basham, or what are we looking at here as far as our edge rushers are concerned? Because we can't just have 3 guys. You know what I mean? To me,
I'll jump it off.
I know.
It's just tough.
Hey, can you take that down real quick?
Yeah.
Edge rushers. You already know it's Tibbs.
Yeah, let me scroll up to the defense because we got defense. All right.
It's gonna be Tibbs, Ojulari, and Brian Burns for sure.
Right.
Whew.
Yeah. I was struggling with this, yo.
I'll be honest with you. I gotta have Tamon Fox over Boogie Basham.
Me too, man.
I gotta have Tamon Fox over Boogie Basham. And I'm saying this right now. They go get another edge rusher. If they don't move Beavers down the edge, they go get another edge rusher. I'm sorry, Boogie Basham gotta go, bro. He gotta go, bro. He gotta go. He gotta go, man. His name is too cold for him to be that slow, man. I don't understand. How your name Boogie and you can't boogie?
How your name Bash him and
you can't bash. He can't boogie or bash.
Bash nothing.
Boogie bastard.
I think they're gonna get themselves another edge. Whoever loses a good edge rusher, I think they pick him up. So I say 5, but God,
could you see him? Who's on the free agent, man? I've heard some people talking, man.
I'll tell you. Hold on, give me 1 second. Remaining free edge rushers, it's gonna change because some people are gonna get released.
Right.
Hold on.
Hey, Boogie just remind me of Jahad Ward.
You got Yannick Ngakoue, Carl Lawson, Charles Harris, Tyus Bowser. All those guys are better. Marquise Haynes is better. Marcus Golden is better. Shaq Lawson in this point in his career is better. All those guys are better than Boogie Basham. All of them. Nigga, go get me Carl Lawson.
Give me Lawson or Ngakoue, man.
I'm tired of Ngakoue too. That dude's overrated.
Yeah, he
he's better than
rushes
Boogie
the passer though. Yeah, he'll get after the quarterback. I mean, yeah, he ain't worth the big money, but he'll get after the quarterback.
Yeah, I like them more than Tamon Fox, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Tamon Fox.
Our edge rushers behind the top 3 are absolutely question marks, to say the least. I don't know how you guys feel, but that's just how I feel. I think they pick up somebody, maybe 2.
I'm with you, bro. That's why I was like, I couldn't justify putting 3 edge rushers. Like we don't have the depth. Like, so I had to add at least somebody.
Man, I gotta hit another black on this. That's crazy.
I wish we'd have re-signed JPP when he was available a few years ago, just to teach some of these young guys.
Man, JPP right now.
I mean,
man.
I don't want Jahad Ward back. Yeah, he's a
Jahad Ward can go to.
No, he's like, but you take him over Boogie Basham.
Over him, yeah.
Yeah, I actually would take him over Boogie Basham.
They're pretty. He ain't great. Neither one.
Because at least he's a veteran and knows shit. This nigga Boogie Basham plays like Jahar Ward, he only 26 or 25.
He's in the Lorenzo Carter and Martin and
I'll take Lorenzo Carter over him.
O'Shane, Zimenez.
all them dudes is trash.
O'Shane. Jungle Boogie.
Man, that dude right there pisses me off, bro.
Boogie Basham. when he's in the game, they just run slant. They just run what's that running back screens on his side. He gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah. He's slow though. Pass right. That dude is slow, boy. He get off the line like a goddamn.
Like I've seen Vince Wilfork move faster than him.
You got like center block feet. You got to run the center block.
It's like he's
fuck.
Like he's stuck in sand.
Right.
Somebody in Kent. That's the problem. We ain't got nobody in Kent. We ain't really got nobody.
With Quincy Roche.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Last time I seen Quincy Roche, he was on the Pittsburgh practice squad.
Yep, Quincy Roche, yeah, man.
Give me Marcus. Hey, listen, give me Marcus Golden. He's gonna give you some edge rush.
Yeah,
Marcus Golden gonna give you some edge rush, bro. I promise you that. Now, yeah, I think he's like 34, but still, this is a backup role. You need those type dudes to come in that gives you that wild man energy when he comes off the bench to try to get to somebody.
Hey, Pat,
what's Boogie Basham 40?
Can he run the can Dave run the 40 faster than Boogie Basham?
No, but if you put Brian Dable on the 20, they'll finish around the same time.
I want to see what his 40-yard dash time was.
Reese Eisen can run the 40 faster than Boogie Basham.
I'll say this: I won't be too far behind him.
Boogie
but go ahead, Coach. Look like he's thinking of something. So go ahead, Coach.
Boogie's ass. Fuck that.
TV.
So wasn't he a second-round pick? He was a second-round pick, I think.
I don't know.
He was a high pick.
He was a second-round pick with Buffalo.
And he on this. Let's be honest. He on his roster because of Buffalo.
What did we miss?
That's it. He on his roster because of Buffalo.
Of course.
But yeah, go ahead, Coach. You got it. What's your thoughts on the edge rush?
Coach mad at something he just saw.
Fucking Yankees, man.
Oh, not again, man.
See it in his face.
Come on, man. Not again, the Yankees, man.
They went up by 2 in the top of the ninth and lost by 1.
Oh, damn.
To Baltimore. Yeah.
Yo, never mind. This is not about the Yankees. I'm sorry. All right. What's the edges? Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Azeez Ojulari, Timon Fox, and we go out and get another edge. Boogie Basham, his ass is sent packing.
You see what I'm saying? And Coach is one of the most lenient guys on this panel. Boogie got to go.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you both of them ain't gonna make it. Boogie Basham and Timon Fox. I think they're gonna sign somebody that got cut.
I would rather slide Isaiah Simmons over to edge rusher as a backup.
Can't do that, Lou.
Look, guys, you got to have more than 3 fucking guys. I know we like the top 3, but we need depth. This team never stays fucking healthy.
Never. And Ojulari, that nigga might not make it out.
You know how he get down. You know what I'm saying? So
Simmons at safety neither. He needs to be an edge rusher.
Simmons is a linebacker.
They're gonna play him as a hybrid linebacker type safety role.
Lou, here's the thing, Lou. Because if you're putting him as an edge, teams with certain situations will run at him. He's light in the ass. He cannot hold up against a 350-pound tackle coming to block him. He can't. Now, if you want to move him around, move him second level, if you want to bring him down off the edge on occasion, I'm with you. All right, that's fine. You know, if you want to move him to, that's why he has such versatility to play that linebacker spot, because you can move him around. But to put him strictly as an outside linebacker edge, however you want to categorize it, no, he's going to get eaten alive, man, because he can't handle the consistent physicality that the offensive line is going to bring to him.
You can't put him in short yardage situations for
he's
sure.
What, 200 and what is he? 225 pounds, 230 pounds.
I think he's like 230, 230,
Yeah,
235, somewhere between
Get his
there.
ass off the team and get us a pure edge rusher. Like, this is the shit I be talking about. This is why I get mad at this new hybrid bullshit that everybody's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? You want these light, fast guys, but then when pressure comes, they can't hold up because they too light in the ass. Go get me 5 big, fat, strong motherfuckers in the front on offense, and go get me 5 tall, strong, built motherfuckers on defense at the line. And stop all this playing 4 position shit. Give me 1 edge rusher, 1 fucking tackle, 1 edge rusher. I don't want
all your good teams do it, Lou.
I don't want a nose tackle that plays edge rusher and tackle. No, give me a fucking edge rusher, a tackle, and an edge rusher. Like, this playing multiple position shit is ridiculous, yo. It has its uses every now and then, but you don't need everybody on your team cross-trained at every fucking other position. It's fucking ridiculous.
Right.
Well, I get what you're saying in terms of that. That's just like saying, well, you know what you're saying with like the interior DTs. Do you want them to
Coach? The Matrix got him.
Oh,
yeah,
so
back. All right.
No, I mean, I get where Lou is saying in terms of,
then it froze.
Do you want them to play your interior tackles? Do you want one to play? Because you said DT as opposed to NT, and NT can also switch out to play DT on occasion too. He can go from a 0 tech to a 3 tech. But that's versatility. That's what I mean by.
That's what I'm saying. That it has its uses and practices in where it's common. But all of this trying to train everybody everywhere is getting overboard.
Well, I don't. Well, all right. I mean, I don't look to everyone because we were just talking about Simmons and.
No, I know, but look, we got Evan Neal trying to play right tackle. Why? Because he played tackle a few snaps over here. He played right tackle a few snaps over here. Oh, and he played interior over here. Fuck that shit. Play one fucking position for 4 years. Playing. Bring your ass to the NFL and spend 12 years at that fucking position.
That's not reality. Ridiculous. That's all right, Lou. Now you're going into the debate. Here's the thing now, because you're now going into the debate of college because the NFL is now converting to the spread offense. That's really what you're doing. And college has gone to that. It's gone away from the tradition. Like we grew up in the pro set, the I set, the off eye. Yes, you're right. But that goes into the debate where the quarterback is the almighty position as opposed to football being a team concept. And teams want to have 4 and kids want to now play wide receiver because now you have 4 wide receivers and that starts in youth football, bro. Now you're going into a debate in terms of football because what you're saying is what we grew up on in football. I'm sorry, that's gone. I grew up against the wing T. That's gone. I grew up against the wishbone. That's gone, bro.
Yep.
That's gone. So, yes, you're right in what you're saying is your passion, but the reality of the game, first and foremost, kids, when they look at TV, they want to play quarterback or they want to play wide receiver. And this is youth kids. Like your sons, I'm telling you, you get them into football, I guarantee you, 9 out of 10, quarterback or wide receiver.
Right now.
Case closed. And that's the thing. And then defenses adjust to that because based on what you're saying, you want to run a 4-3. Well, if you got 2 fast slot guys, you ain't putting no 250-pound outside linebacker on those slot guys. I'm sorry, Lou. You're not going to do that. And that's the thing. And I get where you're going and I get your passion, but we got to look at the reality of the game. What we want, that's gone. Because what I want is old school smash mouth football, compress the offense, and you know what? Run and
1 second he's on the screen, next second he's gone.
The rules of the game, all this targeting, and I get what you're saying, but if you teach head up, I've taught head up for the longest while. I've taught bite the football, and that's a tackling technique. And you know what? Most guys have come out safe, but you know what? They've gone away from that. They've gone, and because the NFL got sued, that's the thing. The concussion syndrome. Think about that. That's where everything started to change. The NFL, at least it was, if you didn't worry about the concussion suits and they lost, we probably would still have a little bit more smash mouth football. Receivers come across the middle, you smack his fucking ass. You smack his ass. You put your forearm in his fucking neck. That's how I've always coached.
The Mel Blunt days.
Exactly, man.
Mel Blunt.
You lay him up, you lay him out, and you look down at his face and you see the snot bubbles coming out of his damn nose, and you smile and you step over him and you walk to the huddle. Yo, I just laid that motherfucker out. He got bubbles all out. His eyes are rolling into the back of his head.
Yeah, you won't be coming through here no more.
Exactly.
That's
Alligator
called
arms.
the Bang 8.
You don't get that no more, bro.
Nah,
but you play rugby. I'm talking about old school NFL. Now I get it. You disagree, fine. We can agree to disagree. But in old 1980 something football, you got punched in your shit. Neither you hit him back or you fell the fuck over. And we need to get back to that because they pussified the game too fucking much.
Yeah, and but see now,
if you disagree, but I'm standing 10 toes down on my stance.
Now he's just talking about versatility. That's what he's talking about.
I will say this: if you're looking at the game as a whole, you do need people. You do need people like Isaiah Simmons, because if we go old school, our pass defense in the middle of the field will get 8 up all game long.
That's true.
He's still getting 8 up anyway. He ain't that damn good in coverage.
Who? Isaiah Simmons is good in that zone coverage because he has the speed,
coverage, bro.
Yeah, for like those third down situations.
Remember that pick 6 he got?
It's really not even about the pick 6. It's about him.
I was just making reminding Lou, like, give him a visual.
It's about him being able to guard his zone to where you get minimum yardage after the catch on like 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9. We stop you because you only get 5 to 6 yards because he's able to tackle because you can't tackle you because you came into his zone. Isaiah Simmons, it's so hard to use him, bro. Because the way they're trying to use him in the league, they're trying to use him as this hybrid safety, all over the field type guy. No, give him his assignment. 3rd and long, I'm blitzing Isaiah Simmons every time, 3rd and long. I'm sending him in there to get after the quarterback, and he's quick enough to notice if he has the awareness, which I think he does, to notice, hey, if you run a screen or a quick screen, he could go out there and help and grab him before the first down is made. But if you're doing a traditional pass set, I'm having him going after the quarterback, whether I'm blitzing him through the middle on a double gap blitz or just having him rush the passer as an edge rusher on 3rd and longs. I'm having him do that.
Yeah, man.
It's just hard when it comes to the run game. That's what you're thinking about, Lou. When it comes to the run game, he's not able to be used, and that sucks. So really nobody's incorrect. I think Lou is right. I think Tudo is right. I think Coach is right. It's just the way that this league is right now. You have to have people like that, and it sucks to take up a whole roster spot for that bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Because you can have somebody like a Marcus Golden take that position, but you can't use Marcus Golden in passing situations. You just can't. Now, Brian Burns and Thibodeau can actually do it a little bit, but Ojulari, if you bring in a Marcus Golden, a Tamon Fox, no, you got to get those guys off the field. That takes away edge. It's complicated, bro. There's no right answer to this in my mind, and I would love to actually speak with Shane Bowen about that. You know what I'm saying? If I had that connect, like, how would you use Isaiah Simmons? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't think Isaiah Simmons is way better than
well, he actually said
Michael McFadden in coverage.
He actually dropped a little bit of knowledge about Isaiah Simmons, basically saying that he's gonna use him in that like hybrid type role.
And see what I'm saying? Like, don't have him on the field that much. That's all I can say. Don't try to have him on the field every play because you can't do it.
He's a rotational piece. But I do want to get to the inside linebacker room here. Then we got cornerback, safeties, and we about 2 hours in now. So let's go ahead and pick up the show. Inside linebacker, Bradley Okereke, Michael McFadden, aforementioned Isaiah Simmons, Carter Coughlin, and drafted rookie Dario Masua. So that's 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside linebackers. What are you guys' thoughts on this room? And are we missing anybody? Or would you replace anybody off this?
I'm going to say this real quick. You're absolutely right about those guys at the inside linebacker position. The thing is, man, if Bobby or McFadden goes down, we're in serious trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, serious trouble, bro. And then if you're not bringing in Beavers, I would slide Beavers down as a backup edge. I think he plays better at edge than being a linebacker. But yeah, that's scary. If Michael McFadden or Bobby Okereke go down, it's gonna be on, because I don't believe Isaiah Simmons is a 3-down inside linebacker.
Bro, when I'm looking at this roster, just in general, we still lack depth at so many positions.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
there's no question about that.
It's gonna be scary, like you said. If we lose a starter, you know, especially at edge, especially at linebacker, especially at corner, which we're about to get to. We lose a starter at one of those positions on defense, it's gonna be trouble. It's gonna be pain.
Before we transition to the next one, Tudo, he says, Lou, I get it, what you say, boss, but versatility, availability is the key to dominant on the pitch, boss. One-dimensional players has its disadvantages and predictability of scheme. I get it. You got to have versatile players on your squad. But I'm saying they've gone overboard with trying to mix and match and make sure every player on the line can play every position on the line. Sometimes you need a few versatile players that can switch over, shift over when somebody gets hurt or for specific gimmicks or trick plays. I get it.
Right.
But what I'm saying is they've gone too much into the cross training and gotten away from the perfecting the craft of the position.
Right. Kevin Donkick, appreciate you tapping in. But what's your thoughts on the inside linebacker room, man cave?
I think, the one person that we cannot have injured this season is Bobby Okereke. We can't have him injured, man. Because if he's done, I mean, Michael McFadden's good, but them other guys and all that stuff is like, we're going to be in a hell of a trouble, man. But as far as that, I think Carter Coughlin, I think Beavers will make that over Carter Coughlin. For some reason, I don't think Carter Coughlin going to make it, man.
Well, we got to
breakout year to stay on this roster because he's been injured the whole 2 seasons.
I know.
We got to think about special teams too. You know what I'm saying? So you got guys like Carter Coughlin, gives you value on the special teams. You know, he's another player that's been around for a while. So you gotta take that. Possibly the rookie Darius Masau probably get some run on special teams as well. So we gotta keep that. Look, special teams is gonna be a big part this year, especially with the rule changes, because teams are gonna be adjusting and trying to figure this new rule out. You know, you probably gonna see some big plays. You're probably gonna see some mistakes by other teams as they start to figure this thing out. So I think the Giants, you know, would be wise to construct their roster in a sense to where they can get the most out of their special teams as well. And not, you know, just be looking at the top of the roster. This is why I love doing roster projections, man, because it gives you a view of everything. Because the casual fan, they're just going to look at the starters or the stars or whatever. Right. Now, you got to break this whole thing all the way down and think about defense, offense, special teams. Like Coach said, if you add a player in one position, you're going to be taken from another position. You got to think about all that. You know,
the thing I'm thinking about is the depth on this team, man. Because my goodness,
here's my thing.
Bobby O goes down, is over.
Here's my thing in terms of the linebackers. If I also take into consideration what Pat said about Beavers, first of all, I think we're going 6 linebackers, interior linebackers. Okay, that's the first thing. But if I take into consideration what Pat is saying, it wouldn't surprise me if all 8 of those guys make the roster, because you also have to think about special teams. Johnson can play special teams. So, and the line, what most people don't realize, your linebackers are big guys on special teams. That's your kickoff coverage. That's your punt coverage. That's on your punt return coverage, because you also have to have some defenders out there in case they try and run a play out there. So those also and also a little bit on the kickoff return, depending on that mid area, in case teams try to kick the ball there. So it wouldn't surprise me. I'm not saying all 8 will make it. I think it's going to be 6. And the 6th one it'll go just like NYG said, and the 6th one will be either Adams and Beavers, in my opinion. That will make that, because like Pat said, because I'm looking at the depth too. Once you get past Bobby O and McFadden, it's like, wait a minute, we have no linebacker depth. Yeah. We're talking about Simmons as a versatile safety linebacker. Okay. Yeah. But you can't really count on him every down, especially if McFadden goes down. So it's like, and you got a rookie Messiah. I mean, when he played at UCLA, he was decent. I mean, he's not the greatest. UCLA had the top defense in all of college, so he was flying to the ball. So he has a certain level that he can contribute. But to me, he was small of a special teams. No.
I thought that at first too, but he's not.
So, but again, it wouldn't surprise me if all 8 made the roster. It really wouldn't, because especially when you consider special teams. But I'm going 6 of the interior linebackers.
Right, last man. I wish everything could get fixed in one off season, but that's just not how this thing works. And as far as the linebacker depth is concerned, again, they're gonna be players, getting cut from teams and things like that you can definitely try to pick up, later on down the line. But all right, man, let's get to cornerbacks.
Nobody on this panel said that we had a top 5 linebacker unit. Go to whatever video you was watching with whatever content creators gave that dumbass take and make that comment, because nobody on this panel ever said that.
As far as a tandem, the first 2, Bobby O and McFadden, yeah, I think they can be a top 5 unit with those 2 together.
About the depth,
but the whole depth of the unit, no. Kevin Donches, but Bobby O and McFadden, I think those dudes are legit, and they play off of each other. Pause. And they're actually a damn good tandem, bro. You can laugh if you want to.
Nah, we're the best tandem in the NFC East. They had a poll on that, a vote or whatever. The linebacker group that we got here, man. But all we're saying is the depth. You know what I mean? The depth is suspect. That's all across the roster. That's all across
and one last thing, NYG, we talk about the whole team as a whole. That's what you get here over with the Big Blue Crew. It's not just about some excitement about who is the most exciting. No, we talk about the roster as a whole. Our first 2 guys are legit. If they're healthy through the whole season like they were last year, those 2 guys are going to produce. We're talking about the guys behind him, the whole team.
Right.
The depth behind those 2 guys is very scary.
Thank you, Tudo, for putting everybody's link in the chat.
Definitely, man. Appreciate that, Tudo.
Everywhere on the roster, Kevin Doncic. With the exception of wide receiver, I think that's the only skill group that we have a lot to choose from. But at every other position, we are lacking depth.
I don't like our depth at wide receiver, to be honest with you, because I feel like if Malik Neighbors goes down,
yeah, we don't have that
same position we is last year.
Yeah, I'm just
being honest with you.
Step this year.
Well, yeah, I mean, we asking a lot of guys to take a lot of steps.
We need to show us up so he can stay on the team. We need some of these guys. But what I'm saying is we have a lot more to pick from in the wide receiver group than we did 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? We've addressed the depth there at least.
Well, I guess sort of.
I mean, yeah, we don't have no preseason Hulk Hogan's coming in.
Yeah,
Somebody get
I
hurt.
mean,
So,
we
yeah,
don't.
that's-
The back end is a lot is a little bit. I see what you're saying. Yeah, the back
not
end of the
top
roster,
heavy,
the
though.
top.
Now,
Yeah.
Our back end right now was our starting wide receiver roster.
Yeah.
So-
True that. Yeah, you're right. But let's get into the cornerbacks. Got to finish this up because I do got to hit the road here in a couple hours. Tay Banks, Drew Phillips, Cordell Flott, Nick McLeod, Trey Hawkins, and Darnay Holmes. Make sure I got my numbers right. Yep, I got 6. That's 6. Thoughts?
I think that's what it's going to be.
Coach, 5.
It's going to come down to Trey Hawkins and Darnay Holmes for that 5th spot. Because don't forget, they're also going to use the safety in the nickel coverage aspect.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
So
And Nick McLeod ain't going nowhere because he's special teams.
Yeah, McLeod definitely makes it.
So
Flott,
it's
Phillips, Banks
Hawkins
definitely
and
make
home. It comes down to Hawkins and home. Now, if you go 6, that means you're probably going to say, well, I don't know your number. I didn't count up your numbers, but I would say if you go 6 cornerbacks, that's 4 safeties.
Yeah, I got 4 safeties. Yep, you're right.
So where I'm saying you go 5 safeties because you can play. There's
So
that word Lou that doesn't like some guys who are versatile enough to play deep into the safety coverage, but also play in the nickel role and play up in the box on run situations.
No, I played safety, coach.
No, I know you do. I'm messing with you.
I understand that there's needs for versatility at certain spots. I understand it's part of the game. You got to be versatile in certain spots, but they've gone so overboard with it that they want to cross-chain the quarterback to play linebacker, running back, slot receiver. Like, come on, man, this shit is crazy.
I see Lou's point, but I can agree with Coach too, man. I do like, particularly with the offensive line, the mixing and matching kind of annoys me, but with some of the other spots, it doesn't bother me as much. But what's your thoughts on the cornerbacks, Man Cave?
Yeah, it's the only one. Like I said, I think Trey Hawkins is going to get that spot. Darnay Holmes, I know they keep bringing him back, but I think Trey Hawkins, he got to have a big year and stuff like that and try to take that spot, man. We need him to take that spot too because, like I said, his length, man, he's 6'3", length. Like I said, he could cover some grounds and stuff like that. He just got to get better. And like I said, with Shane Bowen's system, hopefully he could pick it up real quick and get in there and do it because I'd rather him play than Darnay Holmes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, CB2 is a question mark here. But Coach, people just love talking French. Coach, what's your thoughts on you said 5?
It's coming down to Trey Hawkins and Darnay Hill. Your top 4 I'm with.
So if in the slot, you taking Phillips, and who would be behind him?
Phillips is going to get his fair shot because he's just drafted. You know, Darnay Holmes, Nick McLeod can play in the slot. Don't forget you got Mills who can play in the slot, as well as safety. So they have enough, and if push going to shove, on occasion, you can even put Simmons in the slot too. So it's not like you can't do different things schematically to use multitude of guys to play within the slot in terms of that. So, but your normal standard starting guy.
I was gonna ask that last man. I heard that too. I was going to wait for them to get through though.
Right now, if I'm going to start as a starter in the nickel slot, it's either Phillips or it's McLeod, in my opinion.
Did y'all hear about the rumor of them thinking about re-signing Adoree?
Yeah, I read an article about that earlier today.
We're gonna get him on a cheap.
Yeah, vet minimum, they said.
Yeah. Again, I said it earlier in the show.
At least you know the upside and the downside of what you're getting with him.
I would, in this situation, I don't know, man. I'm
They're
a
gonna
little
play a
over.
lot more zone too. It's not a lot of man to man, so Adoree is good in zone.
I get it, coach. With Adoree, it's not his skill set. It's just like sometimes I feel like he checks out.
His effort level, right?
Yeah, I don't like that shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? So I rather have somebody here that's going to at least play, consistently, and not check out when you losing or when they get frustrated or whatever. And I've seen that too many times from Adoree Jackson. His skill level, I think he can still play. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know about the chemistry there. That's just my unpopular opinion, as I like to say. But Pat,
But to
talk to me.
we're going to be playing a lot more zone.
Go ahead, Lou. You got it.
Definitely be an asset. Go ahead. Sorry.
Nah, you got it, bro. Yeah, I agree. He could be an asset here, but again, you adding a player, you gotta take a player off the roster. Who you taking off the roster?
Darnay Holmes.
Fair point.
Facts.
Okay.
Because I could put Dory in the slot too, pause. But yeah. I totally agree with your list. I think actually all them dudes make it. I think every last one of them makes it.
Unless they sign a Dory. Then Holmes is going home.
I don't even think Darnell go home if he signs on. I think Trey Hawkins might get bumped to the
practice
squad.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% on that, too, though. We've had poor coaching, poor management, poor decision-making from the top on down. You get no argument with me on that one. He said, Lou, Giants' issues are poor coaching, boss. What do you expect if you sign a right tackle and he can't get his assignments done and line him up differently and he fails again? It ain't his fault, boss. They ain't ready nowhere.
True that, man.
If they sign a Dory, I think Trey Hawkins goes to the practice squad.
So safety, got Pinnock, Tyler Nubin, Dane Belton, Jalen Mills. Coach, you were saying to add a fifth one. If you were gonna do that, who would that be?
Did they let go of McCain?
Yeah, McCain been gone.
Been out of here. I forgot he even played for us.
He played one game.
He ain't do shit.
He played a few.
I forgot about Trey Herndon.
Owens.
Shit, I forgot about Trey Herndon and Aaron Robinson.
Trey Herndon, Aaron Robinson. I'm pretty sure he's
Aaron Robinson. That's the goat.
Stepped on the field since his first year, bro.
Yeah. But you were saying what?
Owens is my fifth one.
Javarius Owens. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Special
Draft
teams.
pick.
Yes, and that's the thing too. That's what I also look at too. I do when I look at these things, I do think about special teams, and a lot of times your second level and third level on defense and your wide receivers and your running backs tend to be most of your special team guys. So you'll throw a tight end in there, an offense or a defensive lineman, depending on their athleticism on occasion. But most of the time, that's your special team. That's your special team core. So, and I get it. Most fans don't look at that. They don't think about that. They just look at, they play offense or defense. But ladies and gentlemen, special teams plays a major role. And, there's some guys, like I asked earlier about Allen Robinson. I asked for a reason. Does he play special teams? Well, if he doesn't, that's a check off against him.
Yep.
But again, to the point earlier, about the versatility. You know what I'm saying? You don't just it's you can't just have a receiver, or a running back that's on the back end of your roster that doesn't offer you anything on special teams. You know what I'm saying? So you, especially back end roster guys, they need to have that versatility. Because you can't just be like, oh, I'm a receiver. Nah, you got 6 receivers ahead of you. What else do you do? You're out of here. We can't use you because you ain't gonna never see the field. But yeah, Pinnock, Nubin, Dane Belton, Jalen Mills. Coach says Javarius Owens, possibly as a 5th safety. I only see them having 4th as of right now. I think the Giants usually keep 4, but Cave, what's your thoughts on the safety room?
Yeah, I agree with that. Pin out Nubin, Dane Belton, Jalen Mills. I know some people say he may not make the team. He may make the team. I don't know how they're gonna do, but with Bowen, the way he plays, like I said, with the way he plays,
Mills was a priority free agent, I think.
right. So I mean, the way he plays, safeties like 3 safeties. So I'm pretty sure.
I forgot about that. Yeah, right.
He can play nickel too. Yeah.
Yeah,
he plays 3 safeties. Yep.
So yeah, I agree with that, man.
Yeah. Pat, what's your thoughts?
Wait a minute, or not unless they sign Justin Simmons, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, if they bring Simmons in here, then I mean that probably
no use for Mills.
Mills is out of here, yeah, because they're not gonna cut the top 3.
So you think that Jalen Mills makes it over Javarius Owens?
I think Javarius. I think it's 5. I think Javarius.
That's what coach is saying. 5. I'm saying 4.
Because don't Shane Bowen run 3 safeties?
Yeah.
On occasion, but that goes to what I was saying about the safety earlier. With he went with 6 cornerbacks, I went with 5.
That's what
I mean by I look at the positions and then the special teams. So a lot of that goes into that. So and that goes into what we were saying. These guys can play multiple positions for a reason. So. And also look at the scheme. I mean, he plays 3 safeties. It wouldn't surprise me sometimes in certain zone coverage, you run cover 3 with your 3 safeties deep. And then,
thank you for letting me tap in. Sorry, coach, but I got to head out, man. Little man is tripping.
All right, man. Be safe, man.
All right, Lou.
All right, Lou.
All right, bro. I'll tap in with you later, bro.
Subscribe to all these great content creators, man. Or I'm going to come up with a ninja mask, show up at your crib, slice and dice it, Judy chopper. You know what I'm saying?
Judy chop.
All right, bro.
All right, brother, man. Shout out to Big Bro Lou, man. Y'all go tap in G Nation Inside Sports, Leather to the Face, Saturday nights, man. Fire show, man. Every time.
So right.
Bringing the heat. But
Aaron Robinson would, if he wasn't injury prone, he would be.
Last man standing.
I really want to see this guy, man, Aaron Robinson. I really want to see him.
I wish he wouldn't have got hurt. I wish he would have got his fair shake, but unfortunately, with the injuries, it's gonna be tough for him. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's gonna be tough for him, but he definitely has potential. He showed that in the little sample size that we got in 2022, but Raphael, appreciate you, man, tapping in. Giants defense looks pretty solid. They need the right system in place, just like Alex Smith did. Good point, Raphael. They've been making some pretty good points, man. You really catching on to the Big Blue Crew vibe here. Alex Smith. He was considered a bust, remember?
Yes, he was.
So he got with the right coach and the right system, then boom.
Yeah.
So you got to think, people. Coaching matters. The people around you, the talent around you matters, and chemistry matters. Chemistry matters. Definitely.
It's also a little bit of luck too. Sometimes luck plays a big factor.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. We had one of the luckiest plays in Super Bowl history. Stuck to the man's helmet like these sticky notes I be having.
Facts.
Crazy, man.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Exactly how it was, too. Right to his fucking helmet.
Yeah, bro. I can't hold you. That shit was lucky as hell.
Who said David wasn't the right coach?
There's a lot of people on Twitter saying that because
I'm talking about here. Who said? I'm assuming he's asking or saying that because someone here said that.
He's talking about Alex comment, probably. I don't know. I mean,
no, they do need the right coach and the right system in place, man. But it's not just Dable. It's what we're talking about here. A little bulldozer is the offensive line and the pieces around said quarterback, man, because again, it's not just the coaching, it's not just the quarterback. I mean, it's everything, man. We're doing a 53-man roster projection. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole team. It's the whole team, and that's what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? I think Dable has his flaws, but I do think he's a good coach. I was very critical of Brian Dable last year, but I haven't given up on him. I definitely
it was because the way it was looking, and it did.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it did look a little funky for for some weeks.
Like they were sabotaging the season.
That's exactly what I was saying. Shit,
Right.
I don't hold no punches, bro. If I see some bullshit, I'm gonna call it out. You know what I mean? But cooler heads prevail as time goes along. And I kind of seen why they was doing some of the shit they was doing because they ain't had no choice. That line, if that line ain't blocking, like it's hard to run your playbook.
Run your playbook.
Yeah, I was watching good show Netflix, Receiver, the Receiver show on Netflix. Go check that out. Giants, they got Hard Knocks, but that's different. Coach, this might be a little something more up your alley, the Receiver show. But they were showing the 49ers and Deebo Samuel. And when Deebo Samuel went out for them 3 games last year, that team, and they were saying it on the show, they was like, Deebo's such a part of our offense. Like, we got to change our whole playbook because he does so much out there. And it's like, they were bottled up, bro. Like, the 49ers was losing one player, man.
Remember, they lost like 3-4 games.
They lost 3 in a row.
But they lost Trent Williams, too. They lost Trent Williams, too, the top left.
Obviously, that played a part of it. We know that. But the focus was on the receivers, man. And they was just saying, as far as their playbook is concerned. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was alluding to. The way Dable was calling plays would look stupid. But when you're so many of your pieces are missing, you can't do but so much on the field because you got so many of your pieces missing and you're relying on backups to fill those starter roles.
You know what? You're right. You're right in that regard, but I'm going to be honest with you. That's every team. There's always somebody, even the sorriest team, there's one person that, you know what, they do the work of sometimes 3 guys. So, that's just football to me. For me, that's how I look at it. Like, all right, you lose that. How do you adjust? What do you do? What players do you, as a coach, you should be going into thinking about that. You know what? You don't want to lose said player, but do we have XYZ guys to fill, to be able to do certain things that this player does, whether it's 2 guys, whether it's 3 guys, and I get it. I understand. Yeah, you're right. And I sometimes I forget. I look at things different than everyone. So I just, you know what? That's football to me.
We're saying the same thing, Coach. I was just alluding to the fact of how losing certain players can change the playbook and make a team look completely different. Because remember, that 49ers team they were scoring 30. They were blowing the doors off of teams like them first 4 or 5 weeks. And then when they lost Deebo Samuel and then like Man Cave said, Trent Williams, it looked so much different. It looks so much different. But people don't look at the Giants like that. They just think, you know what I'm saying, the Giants are supposed to show up and just kick ass, you know what I'm saying, despite having these myriad of injuries, despite going through constant change and turnover and different things like that, so that's where me as a fan, I have to take a step back sometime and be like, yeah, it looks stupid, shit's pissing me off, but why is this happening? What's going on? I
always say,
you know what I'm saying?
I say, find out the why. When you find out the why, you understand a whole lot more.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it just goes to show how, losing some of your top players can affect, like Coach said, any team, even as good as the 49ers were, even as good as the Chiefs were. You seen how they looked first few weeks without Travis Kelce. So, I mean, you guys gotta really look at that. You know what I'm saying? When you comparing these teams, and that's all I hear on Twitter. If he's on the Chiefs, what would he do? If he was on the Philadelphia Eagles, what would he do? What do them teams do when they lose their starting offensive lineman and their number 1 receiver, and they look like ass, like Philly did last year when they lost AJ Brown? But we don't know what we talking about over here.
We're gonna find out this year when they lose, since they lost Kelce.
Yeah, let's see how that affects their offensive line. I don't think it's gonna kill their offensive line, but it's definitely gonna look different.
Exactly, Pat. Certain teams are going to attack the middle of the offensive line. If you break the middle of an offensive line, you breaking the offense.
Yeah,
you just do, because it forces them to now force everything to the inside, and you can't do certain things that you want to do trying to get to the outside blockers. So that's why I'm so interested to see what they do in terms of replacing Kelsey, because and then guess what? What was their biggest thing? Their biggest weapon that they used, the tush push, and it was because of Kelsey. Do they still do that now? And how effective will they be? In replacing him. So,
If
but
they
that's
lose,
another story. That's another story.
if coach, nah, man, it's a good conversation. And it's relevant to the Giants anytime we talk about the NFC East. If they lose that play and they can't effectively run that tush push, they ain't gonna be that good. I'm gonna be honest with you, because they pick up so many first downs, so many touchdowns off
Keeps
that
the
tush
chains
push.
moving, keeps the
Keeps
clock,
the chains
keeps the
moving.
defense
the way
out
they
there.
do their offense too.
Exactly. If I'm Dexter Lawrence, I'm saying to him, I want that center. I want that center.
I want Shane, really, when they play the Eagles, I want Shane Bowen to scheme that shit up. That tush push, like, look, get that shit, nip that shit in the bud. Because if you shut that shit down, I'm telling you, you're going to blow the doors off Philadelphia. They rely so much on that play.
Yeah, they base everything off that play.
But it's also
3rd and 3, 2 tush pushes.
Because they run a 4-down offense.
But it's
based
also
on the tush push.
what it also does is demoralizes the opposition. So remember what I said about the psyche earlier? This is a key factor, because if you're saying defensively, all right, we're ready to get them off the field, and then they come out tush push and they just ram it down your throat, then you're like, damn, we out here again. Now I got to get myself revved up again to be back out here, as opposed to, 3rd and 5, and you stop them, depending on the situation. Now they're not going to go for it. Now they're going to punt. Now you're like, all right, now we off of here. Yeah. Maybe we play a safe defense just to make sure they don't run no trick plays, but at least mentally you're saying they're out of here. Now our offense has the opportunity. So
that's why I was like, I wish our defense got to be a run stuffing defense. We got to be able to stop the run. If we could do that, we're gonna have a lot of success.
And Saquon Barkley ain't no power back. He ain't good at 3rd and 1. We know. So go ahead and think he's gonna be Superman over there. But yeah, special teams. I don't think it's too much to say about that. Graham Gano.
No. I'm sorry. Graham Gano is out of here. My boy McAtammy's taking the job, man. Step up, Rutgers. Come on, Rutgers. Take the job.
Let me stop. It'll be after this year he'll take it.
Yeah, maybe so.
Because they're not going to pay Graham Gano another $4 to $5 million.
No,
I think Graham was making like $4 million per year at kicker.
I was joking. Pat, he's from Rutgers. That's why I was saying that. I'm joking.
Oh no, I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Graham Gano is going to leave, and they're going to bring that dude in.
Yeah. And that's why they're working with him. Yeah, I mean that's why they're working with him now, and they get the special roster spot before him because he's an international player. Yes, he has an excellent leg for kicking that ball out of the back of the end zone on kickoffs. Man, definitely does. He was a great weapon, but I don't want to talk records right now because then
that's crazy. Last man standing. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you tapping in, man. If you're not subscribed to me, Unpopular Opinion Sports, please do so right now. Also go subscribe to Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports. Go subscribe to The Man Cave and also Big Pat Sports Talk. If you're not already subscribed, man. But this is a dope comment. Crazy stat. Bills offensive line started every game together. Crazy, right? But we don't get the same grace for our troubles. Just saying. I did not know that. I didn't know their offensive line started because their offensive line isn't the best, but they got chemistry. If you start in every game, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna develop that chemistry. Why you think the Giants' offensive line started playing better down the season last year? A little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Because chemistry is such a big part of sports. People got to realize that, man. Again, go check out that receiver series. Go check out just any football. Just watch football, watch basketball, watch sports, and watch teams that got a lot of talent, and you wonder why they can't win. You're like Dallas, like the Phoenix Suns in basketball. Like, why can't they team? Because they have no chemistry. Half of them dudes don't like each other. When you
You
don't
know
like
what?
your teammates, or when you're not on the same page with your teammates.
You
You
want
know
to
what
know
I'm
what's
saying?
so crazy, man?
It's
What
tough.
the fuck happened between Dak and CeeDee Lamb in that playoff game?
Shit.
Like they were going back and forth. You would have thought those guys were the best of friends. What happened? The playoff atmosphere is so much different than the regular season, bro.
Mhm.
You really find out between the boys and the men when it comes to do or die.
Pressure bust pipes.
Like that was absolute. I said, man, this dude's been in tune all season long, and they wait till the playoffs to do this. That was crazy to me.
Diala, if you shut Philly's run down, defense down, I look. I know Brown and Smith are 1, 2, maybe the best in the league, but again, the Philadelphia Eagles are a run-first team, and Barkley be damned. They had Swift last year. He's a damn good running back too. Doesn't get the credit for it, but if you shut down their running game, and particularly that tush push, and you force Jalen Hurts to throw all over the field in the middle of the field where he struggles, you know what I'm saying? And you play coverage and put pressure on him, get this team in 3rd and long, you're gonna beat Philadelphia.
Yeah, you get Philly a consistent 3rd and long.
You're gonna beat them.
With.
You're gonna beat them. The reason they eat is because they're always in like 2nd and short, or 3rd and short, or 4th and inches, and they can do that stupid fucking play.
That's what if you shut down the running game, you shut down a tush push.
You shut down a tush push, and you put them in, and you force them, Jalen Hurts, to beat you with throwing the football over you, and he's not going to do it. They'll make a couple splash plays here and there, but consistently, he's not going to fucking do it. I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going to do it. Give a damn what nobody say. I watched the fucking game.
It's way easier said than done. It's way easier said than done.
It ain't like you just gonna go out there and do it. You right, Pat. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about it all day. I'm just saying this team can be had, and I'm telling you how they can be had.
And what you said earlier, in terms of team play, about not liking each other and the impact that it can, or the effect that it could have. I mean, as a coach, I've always said, I don't care if you like each other, but you know what? Respect each other and respect each other's job that you're doing. And when you go out there, as long as you do that, you're good. You ain't got to be boys. You ain't got to like each other. Just understand we all have the same objective in terms of doing. So to me, that's a slippery slope when you start talking about, well, if they don't like each other, it's going to affect the way you play. No, as a professional, I'm going to say that as a professional, if you allow that to affect your play, then you're not a professional.
Yeah, that's basically what I say when they don't like each other. It's the dumb shit. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna leave him out there on the island because he think he cold. No, you play to have your teammates back.
Yes.
Now after the game, when you take off the helmets and pads, you ain't got to say a fucking word to each other.
Exactly.
But when you out there on that field, y'all play like y'all brothers. You gotta have each other's back. You gotta make sure your assignment is done. You gotta make sure that you're there to do your part, or none of this works.
Yeah.
And Jerry Rice didn't talk to many people off the field like that. I think the only relationship he really had was Joe Montana, Steve Young, and a couple of those offensive linemen. Other than that, Jerry Rice. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. I think Jerry Rice was one of the biggest assholes to play in the NFL.
Look, y'all. Let me clarify again. What I'm talking about is not a buddy situation. To where it's like, oh yeah, we all go out to the cookout after the game. No, I know a lot of players don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? What I'm talking about is chemistry in a sense of being on the same page with your teammates. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not bought in and you're not on the same page with your teammates, shit don't work. You know what I'm saying? Shit does not work. And then that causes friction in the locker room. And then you start having these comments and things coming out where players are picking at one another. You know what I'm saying? And that shit starts to seep through the locker room and into the media. And now you have major issues. You know, so again, every 53 men, period, ain't gonna like each other. You know what I'm saying? We all got differences. I get it. But at the same time, you have to have guys that can play above that shit.
Respect.
And a lot of teams don't. A lot of teams don't. A lot of these players are young. A lot of these players are sensitive. They let shit get to them. They watch the media. They watch Twitter. And it's, you know, it's a little bit of a different atmosphere these days as opposed to when we grew up or when Coach grew up. So again, it ain't the same in a lot of, and that's why a lot of these coaches like Bill Belichick and some of these older coaches, they're struggling to have success in the modern day era with the new age player. And it's not knocking the players. It's just the vibe is different. You know what I'm saying? Because information is more wide open to where back in the day, it was easy to keep friction inside those 90s and 80s locker rooms. You know, guys were probably in the fucking locker room beating the shit out of each other, pause, and nobody heard about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference in today's era from back in the day. So
what I'm
chemistry
saying
is a little more important.
And I like to
this
clarify
time.
a statement that I made. But go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
What I'm talking about is just ultimate bottom line respect. That's it. You
Yeah.
got to respect the receivers. Have to respect the quarterback and the job he has to do. Yes, you got to run your route. You got to be where you're supposed to be. If the quarterback knows you're supposed to be at this spot on your fifth step, then you need to be there. That's just plain and simple. If you're not, you're going to lose the quarterback's trust, and he's not going to respect you in terms of you doing your job. Yes, that can create friction. You have to discuss that, but ultimately you still have to, as a quarterback, respect that this man is trying, and what is the defense doing, you know, to ultimately take away what you're trying to do as an offense. These are the things I'm talking about in terms of respect. You still have to respect the other man. You ain't got to like him, but you got to respect that he's going out there and he's trying, and you still have to go out there, and he in turn has to respect you. And defensively, because one of the biggest way you can lose respect with your defense is leaving your defense out the hang. You out there 3 and out, and you going 3 and out, and you going back out, 3 and out, and we going back out. Yeah, now that causes a problem. But defense, some defense will overlook that, like you were saying just now, and say, "The offense, we got you. We got you. Don't worry about it. Just get your shit together. We got you. We'll hold it down until you're ready." But most of the times, yeah, that causes frictions in the locker room. But the bottom line is you still have to respect the offense for trying. Defense may just have your number that day, you know, and they may be taken away. And you know what? It is what it is. And yes, in today's day and age, the respect is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Players don't respect one another, and they don't even respect coaches.
That's fact.
Like you said, information is out there. Well, sometimes that information takes away the reality. It gives you a perception, which, yes, perception is reality, but that ultimately that is not the truth. And that's what I'm talking about. I ain't gotta like you. Fuck yeah. There's teammates I didn't like. Hell the fuck yeah. You know what?
Think Stephon Diggs is liked? Yeah. I promise you wasn't like. I promise you right now that dude ain't like. And I just want to clarify one thing, because that can be taken the wrong way what I said. I said Jerry Rice was probably one of the biggest assholes to play in the NFL. I'm not saying that he was a bad person and that he did dirty things to people. No, that's not in his character. Right. What I mean by is Jerry Rice played at such a high level that in order to even be in his presence, you have to be one of the top dudes to ever play this game, like a Joe Montana, like some of the offensive linemen he played with. If you go through Jerry Rice's history, I bet you 95 to 97% of his teammates like, man, Jerry didn't fuck with us. Jerry did his job, and Jerry went home. You can tell by the way that dude sits. Watch the way he sits when he does interviews. It's like his aura is like, Nick, there's nobody out there that can fuck with me. I don't even acknowledge you.
We probably had the biggest asshole in all of football. LT. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And to be honest with you, I think dudes did chill with LT to a certain extent until LT got to doing what he wanted to do.
Yeah, LT broke
Now
out
you
them,
couldn't hang with him doing
that
that
white stuff,
but
and it was like, nah, bro, I got
okay. Let me put it like this. I think LT was approachable. I don't think Jerry Rice was approachable.
Fair. That's
you
fair.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jerry Rice was so good, and don't get it twisted. LT's the best defensive player to ever play. But I think Jerry Rice was the best player to ever play.
I agree. He was my favorite player.
And he walks around
receiver,
just as such.
Receiver, yeah.
No, player, period. I think that dude was the longevity, the production in that longevity, because that dude went over to the Raiders and still put up 1,000 yards. Damn near 40 at 40 years old. And made it to the Super Bowl with the Raiders, him and Tim Brown and Rich Gannon and them. I know there's a debate out there, but name me somebody that was better than Jerry Rice when it comes to a whole career.
Deion Sanders.
Can't say Tim Brown.
Deion Sanders.
From sports.
I think Deion Sanders has a bigger impact than anybody that ever played the game. If you just thinking about the wow factor, because the greatest person that had the greatest impact was Lawrence Taylor. He changed the way you had to play the game. That's a fact. He changed the way you had to play the game. This is the reason why people use double teams on edges now is because of him. It's like, we can stop this dude. Somebody gonna have to go over there and help. And he still got in there most of the time. So if you want to say that, I think the biggest impact is LT as far as the game. Now, as far as revenue and notoriety, and don't get it twisted, Deion Sanders is probably top 5 all time as well. Deion brought that. But as far as the greatest player, I think it's Jerry Rice, man.
I look at Deion because Deion also, don't forget, Deion also did play wide receiver. He did go over there and he did do his thing. When we're sitting now, you're saying the word player, so that's why I'm looking at. I'm looking at everything. Total
player, total
player. I'm looking at him now, and Deion did it at all 3 phases, including special teams.
Okay, so name the categories that Deion Sanders leads as a DB. Now, I'll give you this. That dude was so cold that people didn't want to test him. And that's the reason why he didn't get more interceptions. People
and that's why it's hard. It's hard to when you do the numbers. I get it, but now as a coach, he shut down your number 1 receiver so many damn times.
He was so cold that he didn't even have to go in the huddle. They just say go out there and guard him. That's what they did.
He's the definition of plaster. He's the definition of plastic. You know what? Number 1, that's who you got. That's plastic. They can play zone with everyone else, and he's the only one playing man. That right there is it. That's when I'm saying player. And then if you put him on, and I'm not saying he played offense at consistently, but there were times that I saw the defense roll a safety over the top towards him.
You had
so
no
now
choice.
he's impacting, and then on special teams, like. The guys were you can literally see it in their eyes running down the field. Please don't run by me. Please don't run by me. Please don't run by me. You could, and that's the thing. It's like I get what you're saying about Jerry Rice, yes, and I'm not discrediting anything. But when you say total player, I'm looking at everything. I can't expect Jerry Rice to go.
This is how I compare Deion and Jerry Rice, and not to be too long-winded.
Nah, you got it.
Jerry,
I got about 10 more minutes, and then I'm shutting it down.
Jerry Rice dominated in the 80s, the 90s, and part of the 2000s.
That's true. That's damn fucking true.
He dominated for
decades.
He dominated for damn near 20-something years. Dominated
different decades. Yeah, that's tough.
With different rosters, with 3 different quarterbacks. Went to a Super Bowl with 3 different quarterbacks as the main focus.
2 different teams.
Facts. I think he's the main reason why Steve Young is in the Hall of Fame, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And he went to a team where he was 40 years old with the Raiders, and they went to a Super Bowl with Rich Gannon. Now, Deion Sanders. Here's where you can have a point with Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders changed the game when it came to special teams, in my eye. Because he was Devin Hester before Devin Hester. And not only did he play offense a little bit, that dude was a threat to score on defense, which is hard. Him and Rob Woodson, the greatest I've ever seen do that.
Mm-hmm.
And Deion shut down half your field. I don't care who your number one receiver was. He had no fear going against anybody, not even Jerry Rice, because he got the best of Jerry Rice a lot of times too. Let's keep it real. He did.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only man I know that went up to Jerry Rice and tried to shake his hand. And Jerry Rice wasn't trying to have none of it. And Jerry Rice needed him to come to the 49ers to beat the Cowboys. Let's keep it real. Because once Deion went to the Cowboys won another Super Bowl, because it was really between those two teams for about 4 years. And they couldn't beat the Cowboys in the championship game until they got Deion. And then they beat them, and then Deion left to go with the Cowboys, and the 49ers went back to get beat by the Cowboys again. So I understand where coach is coming from, and I'm not saying Jerry Rice is just 3 levels above Deion. No, they're right there. Him, LT, and Deion, I got them 1A, 1B, 1C, if you want to call it. But I do believe, based on longevity, that dude, Jerry Rice, man, that dude's career is crazy. I don't think any of his records will ever be touched. For one, Calvin Johnson retired too early, and AB lost his mind. Those are the only 2 guys that I've seen that could have had a chance. I think AB would have done it if he didn't lose his mind. But man, that dude's records are gonna be there forever. I don't see nobody do. That dude went like 21 years strong.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. And that dude can still run to this day. I don't know what that man had inside of him, bro. But that dude, it was like, man, that dude, he's slow, but then when he catches the ball, it's like he runs a 4-1. Like nobody could catch him.
Yeah.
It was weird, bro. Like that dude's whole career. When you really look at that dude's career, it's like, man, what the hell was he doing?
He trained though, like crazy.
Man,
like
this dude, catching bricks, running heels.
He did some insane.
Man,
shit,
that dude played football like this was his only option in life. If he doesn't make it here, I'm gonna die. That's how he played.
So, like Adams felt.
Yeah.
How to get out of here. Fucking lose my life. That shit was crazy.
And he did it in eras where you could put your hands on the receiver. Could you imagine Jerry Rice now?
LT, Deion, Rice, Reggie White, Bruce Smith, Barry Sanders, Deacon Jones.
Bruce Smith is up there too.
Bruce Smith was nice. Reggie White was nice.
Reggie White was an absolute behemoth.
Yeah. But yeah, let's wrap up the show, man. I'll get to the top tight ends in Giants history next week, y'all, because I would keep the stream going, but I do gotta get up. I do gotta get ready to head to work. So, tell everybody where they can find you at. Give everybody your last closing statements, man, and tell the people what you got going on this week so they could tune in and tune into your channel, man, and check out your content, man. We'll start with Man Cave, our newest member of the Big Blue Crew, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for always tapping in, showing up to the streams, and giving your insight, man. Definitely got big things in store. Coming up basketball season, we're going to do our thing. You already know, man. But go ahead and plug your stuff.
Man, I just want to thank everybody, man, for tuning in for Sunday Conversation on G Nation Inside Sports, Unpopular Opinion. You know, Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sports, Big Pat Sports Talk. Man, yo, if you need it, basketball, football, baseball, hey, we got you, man. You know what I'm saying? Big Blue Crew Sports Network. That's what we're here for, bro. Man, you can find me at the Man Cave Podcast on YouTube and Twitter. I don't know what's going on with Twitter, but you know what I'm saying? You can find me at the man cave _ Escott. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. But yeah, this week is gonna be a little bit hectic. I probably got to do some traveling and stuff, so I ain't gonna do too much. But I'll be tapping in with my brothers and stuff like that on their shows and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But then after that, it'll be on.
Yeah. Coach, what you got going on this week, man? I know you got a whole lineup of shows, man. Tell the people, man, where they can find you at, man, so they could tap into your awesome content, brother.
Before I even do that, this statement I'm going to say is not, it's not a sports only, but some people really need to get a life. And I posted this on my Twitter page, so I'm just reading it from my Twitter page. Some people really need to get a life. You know, some statements that are being made are not intended to be malicious. Some of the statements that are made are for discussion and debate purposes, like we do here. For me, if you don't like what I post, deuces. Seriously, go on with your life. Leave me the fuck alone. And it's just that simple, man. You know, some people take shit way too far, man. We're in a day and age right now where the level of toxicity is way too extreme, man. And sometimes we need to, you know what? Fuck it. Get you a blunt and smoke and go chill. Find you your significant other. Go get your groove on or something, man. Because sometimes we need to fucking calm down, man. Because it's way, way too far. And some people take some shit that people post on social media personal, and it's not even personal to them, or whatever the case may be, man. Go love your families, man. Go tell your moms, your dads, your children, your wives, your husbands, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever. Go tell them you love them. Give them a hug. Go be with them, man. Seriously, man, because this shit, it concerns me. And sometimes I'm like, yo, fuck it, man. I'm ready to go pick up some weapons and go walk around standing right behind my granddaughter because it worries me, man. And I know I'm being extreme with that, but that's how I feel. Some of y'all really got to seriously check yourselves and stop taking shit that people say. Like, we argue and debate, but we don't take it personal, man, because we know it's all love. And y'all let social media take you to another level, man. And it's just sad, man. It's just sad. And no, this doesn't have to deal with Trump and the political agenda. So no, I'm not talking about that. So before anybody, you know what? If some people say it's staged, some people say it's not. Whatever, and shit, we could debate it, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is not about that. It's about life.
Yeah, that's a fact, Coach.
So now getting back to where I'm going to be at, Twitter, you can get me at SkyspOppa72, SKYSPOPPA 72. On Instagram is Don't Sweat the Technique, DA Technique, like Rakim said. That's my Instagram. And on YouTube is Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sports. I'll be pretty much streaming every day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Coach Ed's Reading Attack Sports Show live, 7 o'clock on Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 o'clock on Fridays. Tuesdays with my brother NYG sitting right next to me. We do Heart of the City, 8:30-ish, 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we cover a lot in there. Wednesday, I do also the Pick and Roll podcast where we talk about the basketball, the NBA. Thursdays I do the Full Court Press talking about the WNBA, and on Saturdays the Halftime Coaching Adjustment Show. We're two old farts, me and Philly Halftime. We talk sports, but we also talk about life, man. We don't just talk about sports. Whatever, technology, love, life, family, whatever. It just brings a different perspective from two older guys to people who, whether it's one person or a million people who want to hear a different perspective. We've talked about, gaming. We've talked about families. relationship. So, NYG's been on there. He'll tell you, it's a great thing that we are to do. So
absolutely.
I'm trying to keep it busy, and then Sundays I'm right here. So that's it, man.
Right, man. Facts, man. Wise words spoken as always, Coach, man. Definitely love and appreciate everything you do, man. Pat, man, tell them what you got going on this week, man. Tell them where they can find you at.
Yeah, first and foremost, I gotta go off what Coach was talking about. And second, Lou said Jerry Rice was a descendant from people who hunted gazelles on foot. That's what it's like. For real. That dude, I don't know what that dude did in his career. And you want to know what's even more amazing? I'm sorry. There's been nothing about PEDs in his whole career. And he's been retired for over 20 years.
Yeah.
There's nothing ever came up about PEDs or anything. That dude's a legend, bro. But to go off what Coach was saying a little bit, yeah, people do need to get a life, man. Like, there's some things that's been said on Twitter. I know if they said in my face, you know what time it is. So I'm telling you. And you know what makes you so mad is you know that these dudes wouldn't say it to your grill. Because most people that will actually say some stuff like that to your grill, they're not on Twitter saying anything. They don't have to be. They already know they like that.
Yeah.
They don't take time to do things like that. Like, I've never took time to be a hater on anybody or troll on anybody because I'm too busy working on making myself better, getting things done for people I love and the things done and reaching goals for myself. So y'all do need to get you need a what do you say on above the rim, and you need a role model. So, it's like you need a role model. Like, for real. But you know where you can catch me at, man. New York Giants Full Access right here on Big Pat Sports Talk. Catch me on Wednesdays live. I got to do better getting on Tuesdays with Coach and NYG, Heart of the City, Leather to the Face, the Big Blue Lounge, calling the Giants games, NFL All 32. You can just catch me anywhere, man. I'm somewhere working. But yeah, man. Proud of my whole Big Blue crew. Shout out to Man Cave for joining the crew. You already know what it is, man. You're gonna put in the work, and you know people are gonna say some stuff, so get ready for it. But
bro.
Other than that, man, you can just catch us, man. All sports, all the time.
Let me add one more thing, NYG. Mm-hmm. This is a little lighthearted. It's a little funny. Mm-hmm. Yo, Elon Musk, man, you grimy. You grimy for what you did with Twitter, man.
Yeah, you got to go live.
Oh,
that's
bro,
crazy.
What the hell?
Elon, you already know, bro. Like,
Elon, I ain't mad at you for trying to get your money, but damn, let a brother know. Like, we was like, yo, what the hell is this?
I just tried to go live on Twitter. It said, you can't do it, player.
No more.
I said, what?
You gotta
what?
You gotta be a premium member.
He wants you to buy. He want everybody to buy that fucking check, man.
I think it's like $14.99 a month. I'm not
doing that. Kick rocks.
Yo, look.
And he's playing on these lame dudes' heads because they believe that blue check makes them mean something
yeah, makes them fucking legit or some shit.
Right.
Man.
Yeah. I miss the times where the blue check really meant you was legit.
No. What I tell you, Man Cave, last night, I'm like, yo, fuck it. Well, I'm gonna go back to old school. I'm gonna just take the link from this which I got to do go to our Twitter pages. We just gonna take the link, put it in there. You just click the link. You just come to our YouTube page. They just losing out. That's all you doing. You losing out.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, Iman. Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta pay. You gotta pay now. For us, if we can't stream on Twitter no more, so
you won't be able to see the streams anymore on Twitter because I'm not paying $15 a month just to go live on Twitter. I'm not even getting paid on Twitter like that. So
you're right.
Yeah.
No, to get paid on Twitter, you got to be a premium member. If you I looked at it. Yellow. There's three categories. One of them is being a premium member. You got to be 18 years of age, and I think you got to have 500 followers. If you do that, you can get paid. You can be monetized. I'm just like, that don't make sense. So I'm paying to be monetized. That's what you want me to do. You want me to pay to be monetized?
He trying to recoup some of his money. You right.
Recouping a lot of that money off people making money off Twitter, man.
Man,
Elon, that's crazy.
You ain't doing this to me, man. You ain't doing this to me. Hell no. Nah.
Man, that shit shocked me. Facebook the same way.
The other says he deletes it after every football season. I'll use it for last minute injury news. All right. I ain't mad at you, DL. I ain't mad at you. That's respect, man. That's respect.
Right, man. You could just come here for your injury news and your fantasy shit, man. Fuck Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Real shit, bro, man. But definitely catch me. Heart of the City, Tuesday night, 8:30. Big Blue Crew, you know what I'm saying? Me, Coach, Man Cave, Lou, Pat. You know, we got several others. My boys, Big Fan Breezy, Leaf pull up in the building, giving that basketball content, man. So we got a lot of live things going on in Heart of the City. Full New York Giants full access Tuesday night, Big Pat Sports Talk. I'll be there. Catch me the Big Blue Lounge Thursday night with Big Bro Lou. I'll be there. Friday, Black Top Podcast. I missed last week because I was pulling a double, but we will be back Friday night.
Fridays, I think that's when I'm gonna add the All 32 live show after Coach does his show. So if Coach or NYG, if y'all have time. That's when we'll do the All 32, man. We're gonna go into film reviews, plays, schemes. This is the All 32. We're gonna be talking about all 32 teams in the NFL. Big matchups during the week. That show is gonna be super exciting. It's gonna be super dope, but it's gonna be super entertaining. Definitely want you guys to tune in and interject yourselves in that show. If you're not a Giants fan, you can watch this show. If you're Cowboys, Eagles, any type fan, definitely going to be trying to get special guests to come on that show as well. Yeah, this All 32 thing is going to be dope right here on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, man. So definitely tune in for that, man. I'm going to be doing that. That's going to start doing the regular season.
Right. So, Saturday, we got Leather to the Face. Sunday, man, right back here for Giants Conversation. I am the pregame show. I do call the morning games.
Dope show.
Yeah, man, appreciate you, man. I do call the morning games too, man, as well as the afternoon games and the evening games with Pat and Lou. So we got you covered, man, here, man. I'm glad Pat plugged that in because this season we're going to be opening our content up to all fans. It's not just going to be Giants fans no more. We love you Giants fans, and you always going to have Giants full access and New York Giants conversation, but Big Blue Crew will be tapping in not just on football, but in basketball, baseball, and other sports, and we're going to be talking about all teams, man, this coming season, man. So definitely appreciate y'all. What in the hell? Bro, I'm really about to put you in the gulag, man. I gotta go to work, my nigga. Bro.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Man, I thought you had something to do. Get out of here,
bro. Now he's stopping me from doing what the fuck I gotta do.
Little man was tripping. Got him. All right. I just need 2 minutes. I know you got to go to work, so I'm gonna be brief. There's a lot of hating people out there on social media. It's a lot of negativity on social media. It's a lot of people pushing false narratives, lying, pushing their own agendas, political, whatever the case may be. We don't do that shit here. We give you sports content. All right? We give you grown man advice from people who are experienced from all walks of life, different coaches, different nationalities, different backgrounds, men, fathers, husbands, sons, brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's what we are. You know what I mean? And we give you our outlook, our perspective, and our insight on sports, life, and a plethora of other things. If you get value from it, subscribe. If you a hater, go somewhere else and hate. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of it on social media. There's hate everywhere that you can go join. Hate. Don't bring that shit here. You know what I'm saying? We about something positive. We about growing. We men of business. You know what I'm saying? And if you about that, come join something real. If not, kick rocks.
Mm-hmm. Spread love, not war. Right?
Facts.
You don't want war because you can't win.
Big time facts, man. But definitely appreciate all y'all for tapping in. Y'all already know who you are in the chat. Salute to all y'all, and salute to the people that's been following the Big Blue Crew, man. You know who you is, man. You guys in the chat, man. Ghost, Iman, Diella, all y'all, man. Too many to name, man. But definitely, man, we appreciate y'all for supporting us because, again, you know, we get curved by a lot of channels, man, because we speaking real shit. You know, we're not going off media narratives. But for you guys to come here
be around
every day,
motherfuckers anyway.
Facts.
Motherfuckers who ain't trying to come over there.
But for you guys to take time out to listen to us on each and every one of our streams, pretty much, you know, and it's a lot of us. So we definitely appreciate, man, all our loyal supporters, man. Definitely, man, and trust me, NYG22 and the Big Blue Crew, we got y'all, man. We got y'all, man. Definitely, man. I want to have something for the supporters. I really do. That's something we're gonna have to work on, fellas. I am gonna be doing fantasy football this year. So I want to open that up to people in the chat. You know what I'm saying? To give you know, some interaction there or whatever. But I mean, you could thumb it down all you want to, but you know what I'm saying? I do this. I'm joking with you, man. You know that. I do this for our supporters. You know what I'm saying? Because
they fuck with it. I get it.
Yeah, bro.
But I think it has ruined the game itself. You know. But anyway.
I mean, you say what you want, man. I win a lot of money off fantasy football, so I don't give a fuck what you say, bro. That's bread to me. Every season.
You need to bring that trivia back, and we need to go head to head. Each member of the Big Blue Crew.
Trivia will be back at the start of the season.
Diella says, "Save him a spot, bro."
Yeah, definitely got you, Diella.
Yeah, you already know. I don't like that fantasy stuff when it comes to people trying to be NFL analysts off of it. But as far as getting some bread, I want some bread on that fantasy.
Check your DMs on Twitter. Check your DMs on Twitter. Check your DMs on Twitter. Man, all four of you.
All right, man. We're gonna shut it down. I really do got to get out of here, fellas. Because
yes, indeed.
But
Lord have mercy.
That being said, man, it's the Big Blue Crew, man. We up out of here, y'all.
You know that. Gracious.
Yes.